begin early on Saturday morning.
Russia's leaders reacting to a plan by 26 European countries to send troops to Ukraine after the war with Russia ends as a force to guarantee security.
Vladimir Putin issued a warning for those nations to keep troops out of Ukraine before the war is over. During a panel at the Eastern Economic Forum, Putin said, quote, if any troops appear there, especially now while fighting is ongoing, we assume that they will be legitimate targets.
That's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Hit by a suspected drunk driver. Sunny and 60 in downtown Indianapolis. There's a slight chance of showers later tonight with a few early morning showers possible for tomorrow, too. The high today, 76. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's 9:02. An Indiana state trooper is now at home recovering after her car was struck by someone who police say was driving drunk on I-65 near downtown.
Yeah, so a trooper got called to a disabled vehicle that was stopped in the road. There was no shoulder there for the vehicle to get off of, and it's dark. And so for us, that's an emergency response call. And
Sergeant John Perrine says the trooper was blocking another trooper's car who was helping someone that broke down. The incident happening at around 11 o'clock last night. The trooper was first taken to a hospital for treatment. Thankfully, her injuries were not life-threatening. IMPD says 2 women were shot in downtown Indy early Friday morning. One woman told officers that she and another woman were walking along South Meridian Street at around 3 o'clock. When they crossed paths with a man, something went sideways and he shot them both. The suspect took off and the 2 women were taken to a hospital in unknown conditions. IMPD is now investigating. Also, 2 firefighters are recovering from injuries they suffered while battling a house fire on the city's north side. IFD crews were dispatched at around 12:45 this morning. One was cleared to return, but the status of the second is unknown at this time. What caused the blaze also under investigation. Gas prices not moving too much today. The average across the state is $3.23 a gallon. In Indianapolis, gas is $3.11. It's news Fever fans were hoping not to hear. Caitlin Clark is done for the remainder of the WNBA season. She's been shut down due to her lingering groin injury. Head coach Stephanie White says regardless, the team has a playoff spot to push for.
They've been in this situation. They understand what it takes, and oftentimes we talk about there's no substitute for experience, and most of the players on this roster have been through that now, and so understanding the sense of urgency that it's going to take.
The team faces the Chicago Sky tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Also tonight, week 3 of high school football in the state of Indiana. Tomorrow, IU is back in action hosting Kennesaw State. They're currently ranked 20th, the Hoosiers are, and Purdue takes on Southern Illinois in West Lafayette. Traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
Yeah, Jarrett looking at northbound 65, stop and go Raymond into the south split, a 2-minute delay. Crash south side, US 31 at Thompson Road. And a reminder on the east side, southbound 465, East 56 down to Penn Pike I-70 area. That's going to be down to 1 lane, so important if you're coming in from Fishers or maybe Pendleton and going to the Colts game this weekend. That's weekend road work starting at 9 o'clock tonight and ending Monday morning at 6 a.m. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Fall is approaching and Sundown Gardens is ready to help you. Visit the Garden Center for all things fall as the Labor Day sale is continuing. Now at Sundown Gardens, save 20% on all trees and shrubs, 30% on all pottery. These are the deals you just don't want to miss, so get ahead on the fall planning, add some color with high-quality pottery, and ensure your property is beautiful for the fall season ahead. Sundown Gardens on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com. That's sundown.gardens.com.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Kirby Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer serving Hendricks and surrounding counties.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny to partly cloudy, slightly warmer this afternoon, a high of 74. A stray shower or two possible south of I-70 tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 53. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Breaking news.
What's that?
Big breaking news.
Is it the Mike Tyson-Mayweather fight?
Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Are you holding on to your chair with both hands?
Got it.
This is really going to blow you away.
What is it?
It turns out Joe Hogson is a pretty crummy guy to work for.
Oh, really? Surprise, surprise. Some cracks in the facade as some people are coming forward to do a little complaining, a little telling about what's going on.
Okay, so Mirror Indy has a new article out. Our old pal Peter Blanchard, friend of the show, the author of the article, talking about these people who are beginning to speak out about what a complete dumpster fire the city hall is. And I'm reading this article, and Peter's a wonderful writer, and Mirror Indy does a fine job. But I'm reading this, and it's like, I'm not surprised.
Is it like a well, duh?
Yeah, well, that's the point. I mean, like it's one of these things that even maybe 5 or 6 years ago, if you'd have seen it in print, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Because they go into detail about, they talk to these, people, et cetera. And the culture of fear, I think, is one of the phrases they use about working in there. And it's like 5 or 6 years ago, even, you would have said pre-COVID, oh man, this is an unbelievable expose. Now you're just like, yeah, I already knew that.
Yeah.
And it's not any way to mean the work they're doing, but it's just so blatantly obvious what a complete train wreck the mayor of Indianapolis is, both professionally or personally, which then bleeds into his professional administration of city government. And this doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. At least 8 director-level staffers have left in the past year. 2 deputy mayor positions remain unfilled. And according to some of these interviews, they describe the leadership culture driven by yelling, intimidation, and also retaliation. And many people have felt discouraged from reporting the issues because they fear backlash from the mayor.
It is very rare, and this is true in almost any industry, when people's personal life is in turmoil, it doesn't bleed into their professional existence. It's only human nature. Like, very few people have a shut-off valve to be able to
compartmentalize.
Right. Yes, that's the perfect word. Thank you. To be able to completely separate. And I'm just talking about, like, if you're having a bad event in your personal life. I'm not talking about systemic issues that allegedly are plaguing the mayor of the city of Indianapolis. I'm just even talking about, like, if you've got a loved one who's ill, or, a family member who passes away, or, some, unforeseen financial event. Like, I don't know, your refrigerator stops working.
And it puts you in a bad mood for a day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's really hard. Now, luckily, I can take that rage and I can bring it to the politicians here every day. Casey. Yeah,
redirect it.
But right. So, think about if you're a person like Joe Hogson, who is alleged to have some pretty serious personal demons, and may or may not actually run into him. And we all saw the video last year. I'm not running for anything.
I'm running from something.
Where the guy appears to have something prohibiting a clear train of thought / rational speech, right, on a public stage. That's not going to dramatically affect not just the job you do, but how you behave in the environment you create for the people under you.
It's like a refrigerator breaks every single day. There have been multiple accounts detailing abusive behavior, public humiliation, yelling, dismissive treatment, which has led to some of the resignations and some people claiming poor mental health. Now, not all of the employees are agreeing. Some are chalking it up to Hogsett's behavior as being more old school leadership, akin to a Bob Knight personality. But I got to say, even if Bob Knight was in a position of leadership and was acting the way he used to, it wouldn't be tolerated today.
No, but Bob Knight also won 3 national championships.
Right.
And numerous Big Ten championships. And every year the team was in the tournament. And most years you said when the season started, hey, this could be the year, and they were a top 25 team. Yeah, you're right. We're
on the top of lists now in Indianapolis, but not good lists. They're like crime lists.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is what do you call it? The PETA level?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what you're
pain in the arse?
Yes, and in the case of a Joe Hogsett, there are no incredible results. Not again. It wouldn't be tolerated anyway if you were behaving in a Bob Knight fashion in 2025. But there are no incredible results where the city goes, oh, that's just Wacky Joe.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, what a character.
His PETA level's high, but he's worth it. No,
Right.
You always want to make sure your worth is greater than your PETA level.
And so it comes back to something Ryan Hedrick, our beloved newsman, said on this program a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
When talking about, as Ryan has been quite candid about his struggles with addiction and recovery and the Supporting Sobriety podcast that he and Matt Baer do, he said, look, Joe Hogsett runs the city the way I ran my life in the throes of addiction. It's continual chaos. Things get started. They don't get finished. Well, somebody else will always, will figure it out later. And that's the city. Look at the construction. Look at the roads. Look at everything.
Mm-hmm.
That is a guy that is not in charge of himself, it appears, much less he shouldn't be in charge of a city of all these people.
Yeah. So some of his team are denying any dysfunction. They cite a 42% increase in job applicants. I don't think that has anything to do with the leadership. That has more to do with people wanting a job. And he did introduce that complaint system. He's pledged reform, but it seems like it's just a little bit too late. You've got a mix of Democrats and Republicans on the city county council who publicly asked him to step down. And there's just been so much controversy overshadowing his tenure as mayor. It's almost like, when you've got these yelling fits and disappearing acts and vanishing deputy mayors, it's less like public service and more like a game of political survivor. People are removing themselves from the island, and maybe it's time for someone at the top to be voted off the island.
Well, but the city's not going to change, and that's the point. The city is not going to change because there's a couple of reasons. One, for some reason, collectively, the Democrat Party has decided to protect and defend this guy. I don't understand. I don't get it. You can easily insert another plug-and-play Democrat in there, and you'll get the same bad government but without all the drama, or a chance you'll get it without all the drama.
Mm-hmm.
One, so they've circled the wagons, decided to totally defend him. Two, the Republican Party is totally inept in Marion County. Completely worthless, totally inept. They aren't fighters. Heck, they got rid of Michael Paul Hart as the city council minority leader because he was too mean to Hogsett. And we were coming on here every day ripping on that guy like, why won't he do something against Hogsett? And the leadership of the Republican Party was like, ooh, you're going to need to slow down there, buddy. So there's no fight in the Republicans. There's nobody that's going to put the screws to the city government. And the third thing is, most people have just left. I mean, there's a few hangers-on like Hammer who are lifers. For some reason, you're still living here. I don't understand for any reason why you've chosen to do that. But most people they said, I'll just go live in Greenfield.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be much easier for me.
And it would. I think Washington may be open. Maybe part of it.
What?
A smidge. I don't know. I'm going to have to investigate that on the way home today. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. What are we doing next? What's going on?
Oh, we got to talk about the jobs report and also the concerns about election integrity. There's a big article in the Indiana Capital Chronicle.
Yeah, let's talk about
Diego
that.
Morales, the Secretary of State, is up to. He had that public hearing on Wednesday.
Yeah, there's actually some interesting things that they're proposing to change our election system in the state of Indiana.
To increase some voter turnout.
Well, right, but also save money. And I'm actually not opposed to what they're talking about. So let's talk about it when we come back.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Hey, ladies, are you interested in self-protection but don't know where to begin, or maybe you're too nervous to enter the gun store alone? Well, let me introduce you to Premier Arms. They're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a supportive community dedicated to empowering women. They have a friendly, educated staff, and they'll provide personalized guidance, ensuring you feel confident in your firearm choice. It's Casey Daniels letting you know Premier Arms is where female gun owners are supported. Call them today, 317-858-3030.
It's the start of our favorite season here in Indy, football season. That's right, with all the hype and action this season brings, we know things can get loud and messy real quick. Before you invite your friends and family over to watch the games, you better call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to clean up all those fumble moments in your home. And lucky for you, you can score big this month with great savings. Hi, this is Denny Smith, and you can get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning too. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at zeroresindy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. And don't forget the ZR water difference. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, leaving things really clean. Now mention WIBC and you'll get 3 rooms cleaned by the Zero Res Pro starting at just $129. $129 plus $75 off duct cleaning too. 317-388-5141. Online at zeroresindy.com.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
This is Robert with Kirby Heating and Air. Looking for a company that still has pride in their work? Choose Kirby Heating and Air for all of your HVAC needs.
Kirby is a trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
So they're making, or they're proposing some pretty big changes to elections in the state of Indiana, and I actually don't have a problem with these.
Okay.
So let's talk about them, shall we?
Okay. Yeah, these are all based on the public hearings that are being held.
Wait. You got to get the theme song queued up here. I can't believe Kev missed that.
We're talking about the Secretary of State, Diego Morales?
In his zest.
What? To play Led Zeppelin?
That's right. Kev totally went into business for himself. Kevin, are you ready? Okay, here we go.
Dirty Diego, oh, Dirty Diego, oh, Dirty Diego, oh, Dirty Diego, oh.
the stylings of Jerry Lopez, Indy Spanglish on Twitter, with Kevin putting the beat down. And that is the theme song for the Secretary of State, Diego Morales, because he is a dirty, dirty, rotten individual who should not be dog catcher, much less in charge of everything from elections to businesses. But as mandated by the Indiana General Assembly, he has to have these meetings across the state on certain proposed changes to the electoral system, and then report back to the General Assembly on the information that he acquired and see what they want to do with that information. And a couple of these proposals are actually, I think, pretty valid. One is essentially getting rid of what we call off-year elections. So in the state of Indiana, a lot of your municipal elections, mayors, town city councils, clerk treasurer, they are on odd year elections. So your presidential elections are and the Congress are the even ones. So like it's 26 will be the congressional midterms, 28 will be the president. Your 25, 27 are the Indianapolis mayor race will be in 2027. And what the state has said, and I think there's some merit to this, we have to spend all of this money to administer these municipal elections. Why wouldn't we just combine them? If we can get everybody on the same track, we can combine them and make them a part of elections we're already administering, and it will save the taxpayers a lot of money.
Yeah, this is all under the study from House Enrolled Act 1633. So Indiana ranks in the bottom 8 of states for voter turnout. This was both in 22 and 24. So is this an effort to save money, or is this an effort to get people to come to the polls?
Well, it's both. The municipal turnout election is under 20%. I'm not a person who cares about the voter turnout thing. It's like I don't think we should be trying or begging people to vote. Here's elections.
Especially people who don't do their research.
Exactly. Like if I got to beg you to vote, I really don't want you voting. Like if I got to plead with you to come to the polls. Now, there's certain things we do, see redistricting, and this ridiculous redistricting thing that alienate people from being a part of the process. The politicians do this on their own. But I don't want to have to, bow and curtsy and get on bended knee and plead you to be a part of the electoral process. If you don't want to do it, fine, great. I'm concerned about the cost, which is in some of these cities and towns, like I don't know what the total was. Like when I ran, I knew the exact number I needed. Like I looked at the previous 2 or 3 election cycles on that thing, and I could count to the number. And
how many people you needed to vote for you
to win?
Yeah,
like I knew it. And once we blew past that, I was like, okay, this is over. Like 3 weeks ahead of my election, I was like, okay, it's done. Just make sure the people go vote. Right? It's over. It's done with. You shouldn't be able to do that. It shouldn't be that easy. If that few people care enough to show up and vote, then you got to stick them in with everybody else, and you could potentially save tens of thousands of dollars in these counties that have to administer these elections.
Well, voter turnout in municipal elections sits at 27%, and midterms is at 42%. Presidential elections were sitting at 61%. So this could increase participation and cut costs.
I had this conversation the other day with someone who is going to run for office next year, and I pretty much tell everybody this that wants to meet. I will tell you what I think, and if you want to use any of it, great. If you don't, I'm not going to tell you anything I wouldn't tell anybody else who asked me if they want to run for public office. And one of the things that's fascinating to me is because this person is going to be running against a long-time incumbent member of the General Assembly. And here's what I told them. And anybody can use this. It's free advice. Also free advice. If I were running against somebody in the General Assembly next year, my slogan would be, I want less of your stuff. And anybody can use that wants to. I told this person, I said, what's fascinating to me about elections is, especially local elections, is there's so many people who don't vote, but yet, and they're potential customers, right? Like if you think of it as a business, these people are all your potential customers. Yet the people who run for public office just work off the same lists and keep going for the same group customer base. They fight amongst the customer base. When I ran, I was like, anybody who doesn't like the guy I'm running against, they're going to vote against him anyway. You don't need me to convince you. Anybody that's for him because they got some sort of vested reason in that guy being there, they're going to vote for him. You're not going to break those people. Why waste your time? Go for the people who normally don't show up to vote because they're freebies. If you can get to them, the other people are not getting to them, and you bear that out, right? In the midterms, Indiana has a turnout rate of 42%. That means there's 58% of the potential customer base just sitting there begging practically for somebody to give them a reason to get off their ass and go vote. And yet we spend all this time fighting amongst the people who many of them probably have made up their mind already anyway.
Yeah, but is cramming your mayoral vote onto a presidential ballot, is that kind of like sneaking your veggies into your mac and cheese? Like burying it into something that you do care about or people are engaged in?
Okay, let's use the city of Indianapolis for an example. You're worried we're going to get worse representation if it's on the ballot with everything else?
No.
How could it get any worse?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? The other thing they're considering doing, and many counties already do this, though, is going to the vote center. Right now, it's a county-by-county thing, and there are counties left who still have the traditional voting precinct, which is like in your town, there's 8 places to go vote on Election Day. And that is exorbitant. It's expensive. You're paying a staff of people hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on Election Day that maybe 100 people or 200 people will show up to vote at. And they're talking about, which many counties, especially in central Indiana, are already doing this, of going to the forced vote center, which is, hey, if you're in Plainfield, there's this giant place that you can go vote. I'm using Hendricks County because that's where I live. And there's one in Brownsburg, and there's one in Avon. And anywhere you're at, you can go vote. And wherever you live, your vote will pull up, your ballot will pull up, boom, do it, see you, out of here. And it's another thing that I think in a modern era, especially with the low voter turnout that we consistently have in Indiana, if we're going to let's save the money and let's go to these vote centers and get them right and perfect the vote center.
So some critics are saying that some small towns, they already have the option to shift their election timing. And do you really need a statewide mandate to do that?
Well, if it comes to I got to pay for it in some capacity as a taxpayer, then yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do. Now, a lot of this stuff is administered at the local level, but we also pay money as state taxpayers to administer elections here in the state of Indiana. I mean, there's zero reason if there's going to be 1,500 people show up to vote. I'll just, again, use where I live. We have the off-year elections for the town council races. It's like 1,500 to 2,000 people who are showing up to vote in a town of 30,000 people. If you can't get, or even if it's 3,000, right? Whatever. If you're only getting 10% of the populace to show up, you can be inconvenienced a little bit, perhaps. But you're not. There's the early voting. There's all these opportunities. The mail-in voting. It's utterly ridiculous.
So he had that public hearing on September 3rd.
Diego Morales.
Yeah, I was told that there were 32 chairs available for people to come in.
Somebody sent me.
Don't know if they all got filled.
Somebody sent me a photo of that event that he just had, and it appears to be that there are 3 people taking photos of him. We've got it looked like 3 like
different angles,
taxpayer-funded people.
Yeah,
taking photos. Now I don't know if that's exactly right, but
big PR machine.
It's everything with it. He never stops campaigning.
Yeah,
you got to hand it to him,
right? Yeah, do you? The next hearing is September 19th in Jeffersonville, and then Morales, the Secretary of State, will be making final recommendations, which is due to lawmakers by November 1st.
What are we doing next? What's going on?
Well, do you want to talk about that big tech meeting they had in the White House yesterday? Zuckerberg was there saying some stuff.
Oh, yeah. People are mad because Trump was
right next to him.
Yeah, people are, and they should be mad. We'll talk. Yeah, let's do it.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Trying to find out if there was a cover-up. Sunny and 62 in downtown Indianapolis. The high today, 76. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:31. The House Oversight Committee is continuing their investigation today into the alleged cover-up of former President Biden's mental decline. Andrew Bates, the former senior deputy press secretary to President Biden, is set to appear before the panel today, and it comes amid a new revelation about the attempt to cover up the former president's health.
The New York Post reports White House lawyers and the Justice Department were unsure about how to enact the president's clemency grants in his final days in office. On January 17th, Biden commuted the sentences of nearly 2,500 people convicted on nonviolent drug charges. The Post reports the debate over who to include in the pardons and how to modify their sentences came to a head on the evening of January 16th. Internal emails obtained by the New York Post show White House Staff Secretary Steph Feldman sent an email to West Wing lawyers saying she needs evidence Biden consented before authorizing a mechanical signature.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. The former president told the New York Times earlier this year that he verbally approved every clemency decision, even if he did not personally sign the warrants. Speaking in defense of H.H. Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was grilled by senators Thursday, North Carolina Republican Congressman Greg Murphy says Secretary Kennedy is reversing destructive health policies.
We need true research to say what is right, what is wrong. I don't believe that 6 months old should be vaccinated for COVID.
Murphy on Fox's Mornings with Maria. The CDC has cited research that shows the risk of complications from COVID-19 infection outweighs any potential side effects from the vaccine in young kids. And the Department of Defense could soon be returning to its original name. President Trump is expected to sign an executive order later today, changing the DoD to the Department of War. The name can't be formally changed, though, without legislation. Now, your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 30 points, 45,621. The S&P 500 also up 26 points, 6,502. And the NASDAQ in the green, 215 points to 23,633. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $300 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spread, totals, player props.
$300 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
A quality supply and tool now through November 2nd. While supplies last, there's a huge Milwaukee sale going on. Enjoy lower prices on outdoor power tools like chainsaws and blowers. Or grab a select M18 4 or 6-piece combo kit and get not one, but your choice of 2 select M18 tools free. The sale's at all 4 quality supply and tool locations in Bloomington, Lafayette, Indianapolis, and Jeffersonville. Whether you're a pro during the week or want to work like one on weekends, Quality Supply and Tool helps you do it by thinking outside the box. Store.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Okay, this broad might have a point here, Casey.
What's that?
I got the Fox News up on the screen. Thankfully, Carl finally got us off that horrible Drew Barrymore show.
Oh, that'll be on later.
I don't think she's on Fox News. And the what do they call the thing at the bottom?
The super?
Yeah, super. Yeah, the thing that tells you who's on or whatever.
Yeah, the crawler.
They're doing some bit on one of the Kardashians, Kourtney Kardashian. I can never keep any of them straight. But it said Kourtney Kardashian, and I guess her quote was, "Going to school is so dated."
Oh, interesting.
And I see that, and at first you'd be like, well, that's ridiculous. But then there's part of you that says, okay, if we just pause and get past the idea of, oh my gosh, you wouldn't go to school? In the hyper technological world in which we're entering, and which means we will be more and more into a specialized world going forward, in which you're going to need to find jobs that can beat AI, right? Which will be fewer and fewer by the day. Every day, there's one or more fewer jobs out there because of AI. So is she wrong in saying that you would be far better off from the time you're a young person to be entered into field or fields, plural, to get an understanding of things and work around and with things that are almost AI proof, or that have a better chance 10 years from now when you will enter the workforce of defeating of still having a career despite artificial intelligence?
That means you'll have to be specialized from a very young age. It's almost like the one sport athlete in school, in high school. You focus on that one sport consistently. Doesn't that kind of pigeonhole?
Well, does it have to be, though? Does it have to be? Because let's say when you're 10 years old, they say, because by the time you're 10, like, I get interest change and things change, but you start getting a pretty good idea of sort of what sort of human interests you're going to have, right? I mean, I get that people find new things all the time, but in terms of, like, when I was 10 years old, I knew what I wanted to do.
You knew you wanted to be here on WIBC at 10?
Of course.
Really?
Like, I knew I wanted to do this, and I was a very smart child,
No,
Casey.
you know what? That's interesting you say that, because by the time I was 12, I knew that I wanted to be on the radio as well. When I was 13, I had the choice. I could either get a 10-speed bike or a hi-fi stereo system. And I, of course, chose the stereo system so that I could listen to the radio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think most people have some idea of the interests that they're going to have as at a the 10 to 12-year-old age range, and things that they would have some level of passion for. And when I was 10, I loved radio. I was obsessed with radio and broadcasting and writing, and it was pretty much a thing for me that I was going to be in one of those fields of a life of poverty, right? Like that. But would we be better off at saying, when you're 10 years old, and instead of just going to a traditional public or private school every day, where they just, every day you go, you 5 fields, 5 places, 5 things, that you have some, and I'm just spitballing here off the top of my head. That's just fascinating to me that she said that, because it's
a whole new way of thinking.
Well, on the surface, it seems very radical, but given the world in which we're living, and what does the world look like 10 years from now, would you be better off by the time you're 20, having spent 10 years on a daily basis engrossed in things that you have an interest in and learning how to do those things to the best of your ability?
That might play into Governor Braun's push for the micro schools better, because many parents look at school as just daycare, a place to send their children when they're going to work.
Well, right, so that then is the spinoff, which is where I was going, so thank you for this, which is, if you're not going to engage in your kids' life on a daily basis, what did you learn today? Talking about what they learned, helping them with their studies, which, let's face it, many parents are not. Many parents just hand their kids off, as you said, to the public education system or private school or whatever. And if you're not going to engage, then why wouldn't you want them to be somewhere
hyper-focused
where they're learning in their interest, and it will prepare them earlier for a career path of their choosing.
Do you think that at that age, people would be able to tell if they're more STEM focused or if they're more history and literature focused?
I think you know. So, like, for example, here's a great example. Talked about how all the issues I had with the refrigerator, right? And my buddy Clay.
You knew that was out of your field?
Yeah, right. Like, it's like I had to call
Plumbing,
my dear
not my
friend
gig.
Clay out in Lebanon. Please come save me. And, he went and, it was very easy because he has that skill set. His son came with him. His son and his kids go to a private advanced kid learning academy type of place. He has elementary age kids. His son, I think, is 6, maybe. His son came with him, and his son clearly had an interest in how he was fixing the water line and stuff, and because his dad does it right. And I think a lot of that is we feed off the interests of our parents. And his dad was showing him, and he was helping his dad do this. Now, could he obviously do it if you sat down tomorrow and made him do it? No, but he has an interest in that. He has an interest in those things. With somebody like that who's already started formulating some sort of life interest and a skill set that would be hyper beneficial, not only to himself financially, because there's fewer people who work with their hands, and also, to humanity as a collective, would that be a better approach for someone like that?
Right, than have someone sitting in a classroom.
Exactly.
Possibly.
Just something to ponder. I saw that, and I thought that was just incredibly interesting.
Rockefeller's rolling over in his grave
That the Kardashians made that point. It was like, oh my gosh, remember the Kardashians? We reject it out of hand. But that actually is very interesting to me. And she wasn't necessarily saying that. She was just saying school is dated, and I think maybe that might be.
I see more and more parents and people speaking out that if you should not be sending your child home with hours of homework. Like, you have 8 hours a day. If you can't get the lesson in, and they're not grasping what they're supposed to, then you're doing something wrong. Like, you don't need to be sending hours upon hours of homework home with them.
Well, and the other part of this is, how much of your education did you extrapolate it into the real world? Like, how much of what you learn actually benefited you in your day-to-day existence as an adult?
You're talking about how you were always told you're not going to have a calculator in your back pocket. You got to learn how to do this.
Right. Look, and I'm not. There are many fine math teachers. They're wonderful people. I'm not trying to indict them in any shape, form, or fashion. But I'm saying the trig, the biology stuff. Like, right. I don't see any place where I've used this in my daily adult existence.
You don't think you need some of that general knowledge, though?
For what? I know what a bird is, right? Like, I know what a frog is. Did I need to know how to dissect a frog? No, I mean, seriously. Like, in freshman year in high school, you had to dissect the frog. What good did that do me?
So you're saying that you need to identify those students younger.
If you want to do
those that have the aptitude for it,
sure,
focus on that.
Absolutely. There are people who it benefited them greatly because they want to be a doctor. They have an aptitude for it. They're interested in that.
Well, my daughter would be an example of that, where something like that is right in her field. And now she's, working in a scientific lab.
So instead of making her do, because I'm sure just like me, even though we have she had classes that were just totally pointless for her. So instead of wasting all that time and resource, wouldn't it have been better for your daughter to have 5, we'll call them internships for a lack of a better thing, or fields of study, where the 5 things she was interested in, she got great at those. By the time she was 16 years old, she was uber advanced in that. Wouldn't that serve her better than just have forced her to go through all these classes that she will absolutely never use?
Yeah, possibly. The only thing that I would say is, the STEM classes benefited her because that is what her career is now. However, she still had to learn how to write a paper and do summaries, because even in the science field, you have to be able to.
Then that could have been one of the things that she went and did each day.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we are onto something. I think we've just. I think
or the Kardashians.
I think we have just
Yikes.
solved a lot of the world's problems. All right, we'll do the Gates and Trump stuff when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, payrolls only up by 22,000 and mortgage rates are down. I have no idea what's going on. Do you? Let's discuss after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Do you have an idea for a book? Fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Summer is here, and that means it's time for new flooring in your home. Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as 2 weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 North Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means getting more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Go to brothers-floorcovering.com. That's brothers-floorcovering.com.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
We play fair in Indiana, but Washington insiders want to cheat. They want taxpayers to spend millions to redraw legislative maps approved just 4 years ago. That's not democracy. It's a power grab, and they're hoping you won't notice. Thankfully, some of our leaders are saying no to D.C. politics. Tell politicians Hoosiers don't cheat. Protect our votes and get back to focusing on our real problems. Join the team at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at schneiderjobs.com.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
Join Tony Katz Saturday, September 13th from 3 till 7 p.m. at Premier Arms. Enjoy free food, drinks, and mystery bags, plus live and silent auctions, all to benefit veteran suicide awareness. Don't miss this great cause and a great time.
Okay, so Trump did an event yesterday, and Zuckerberg and Gates were there, and people are outraged by it.
Yeah, you also had Tim Cook there.
He's the Apple guy,
He
right?
is the Apple guy, and you had all sorts of CEOs from Oracle and Blue Origin and Palantir, and just all the tech people were there.
Right.
It was like a Silicon Valley thing, reunion in the Rose Garden area.
But the outrage from a lot of people is they're saying, and we saw this during the inauguration too, where these guys got the primo seats, is these guys hate you. They did everything they could to not just defeat you, but take you out. And now
you're opening the doors to them.
Yeah, it's and it's hard to look. I'm not a hardcore Trump supporter. I voted for Trump because it was what other option did I have, right? I knew would be infinitely better on the border, which he has been, and better on foreign policy, which to some extent he has been on that too. And that obviously if you got two choices, you got to pick one of the two. I mean, you don't have to, but you get what I'm saying. But if you're a hardcore Trump person, you got to be a little taken aback by this, don't you? That this guy, because he does this all the time, he keeps engaging or propping up or giving the VIP treatment to people that try to destroy him. And if you're a hardcore Trump person who worked very hard to get Trump elected, but you got to be looking at that going, I don't know.
Yeah, it does signal somewhat of a realignment with big tech, despite their past clashes. I have to note Elon Musk wasn't there. He declined the invitations. He said a representative would be there in his place after their public falling out. But is this a situation of if you can't beat them, join them? Because tech is always going to be there.
Sure. But I think there's a difference between we got to work together and I'm rolling out the red carpet for these people. Right? I think there's and I think those guys at the inauguration was I think that was a massive slap in the face. By the way, the inauguration, wasn't it brought to you by Google?
Well, here in Indiana.
That was here, right? Yes,
it was.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a huge banner.
That's right. That's right, at that thing we went to. I bet we don't get invited to that next time.
The big bronze ball?
That's right. I bet that was and I told you, when we went, I said, we got to go to this because I bet I say and do something to get us uninvited from this going forward. And aren't you glad we went now? Because we're never getting invited again.
So glad.
I called that one.
Yeah, but at the big bronze ball, there was a stage, and right behind the podium on the stage, there was a big screen, and the screen was flashing different sponsors, and
yes.
Google was a big one. Also makes you, wonder about the connections to all the data centers.
Well, that was where I was going to go with this, is because remember at the time I think I brilliantly said, why is Google sponsoring the Indiana Republican Party? And, well, as with all things, there was a clear answer, which is they want the giveaways for the data centers in Franklin Township. And now, of course, the guy, Alec Wills, who we had on yesterday, said the one in Monrovia is a Google-related thing.
Is Google
too.
as well.
So, point in all this is these people are not our friends. They're not friends of the American people. They're not friends of Trump. They exist to make money. They exist to enhance their power, their footprint, their dominance over people's lives. And you're right, though, Casey. We are totally slaves to technology at this point.
So many of the attendees, they announced different projects or investment that support Trump's goals on AI development, also manufacturing and workforce automation. One of those people that was there.
Wait. But how many of those investments are backed up by foreign-based workers? That's what really matters. People that are going to come into this country and they are going to take these jobs from people from other countries. That's always the thing when we talk about investment now in our country, when these foreign or tech-based companies talk about investment in Indiana, investment in America. Yeah, but how many of those jobs are guaranteed to go to American workers?
So Mark Zuckerberg was there, and he said that his company was going to invest at least $600 billion in the U.S. over the next several years. And he said it was to build out data centers and infrastructure to power the next wave of innovation. When I heard him say that, I kept thinking, you're not doing this for me. You're doing this for you.
Of course.
And your company.
No, look, there's some thing to, hey, we all, or not all of us, but a lot of us use Facebook. However, if you told me that Facebook would go away, but I'd have more affordable water and electricity, I'd take giving up Facebook. And you're right, they're a for-profit company.
Yeah.
It's not like they're running a soup kitchen over at Facebook.
So another thing that happened yesterday was the Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. testifying in front of the Senate Finance Committee.
And we got to talk about daycare because there's something interesting going on with the daycare in Indiana.
Yes, that as well. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with a free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether you're a construction pro during the week or just want to work like one on weekends, Quality Supply and Tool is the place for you. Right now at all 4 locations, Indianapolis, Jeffersonville, Bloomington, and Lafayette, Quality Supply and Tool will save you $250 on Milwaukee's M18 Fuel 5-tool combo kit. And buy a select M18 Fuel impact wrench and get an M18 Red Lithium XC5 battery free. That's over $200 in savings. Price is good through November 2nd while supplies last. Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box. Store.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers studios, the status of a state trooper hit by a suspected drunk driver, where IMPD officers responded to a shooting that injured 2 early this morning. Will the dry patterns continue into this weekend and this month, and the news gets worse for the Indiana Fever regarding one of their stars? You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
It's disappointing.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the White House economic advisor is saying about the jobs report out, showing just 22,000 were created last month. The expectation was 75,000. The unemployment rate ticked up a tenth to 4.3%. Here's what the Labor Secretary, Lori Chavez-DeRemer, just told Fox Business.
Jerome Powell should be embarrassed by this report because he has not done his job.
Calling on the Federal Reserve Chairman to cut interest rates like President Trump has been demanding for months.
22,000 jobs underperformed just a bit, but it's still in the positive. Almost 500,000 jobs have been created since the president took office. It's going to take some time.
Hiring for June and July was revised down slightly, but not like the massive revisions lower we got for prior months in the July report, which prompted the president to fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. On Wall Street, stocks have been rising despite the morning report, and the S&P 500 hit a new record high. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, warns he'll file a lawsuit as soon as President Trump deploys the National Guard to Chicago to crack down on crime like in Washington, D.C., where the troop patrol has been extended through November. The D.C. Attorney General has gone to court trying to stop what he calls unlawful federal overreach.
White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson, she hit back stating this lawsuit is nothing more than another attempt at the detriment of D.C. residents and visitors to undermine the president's highly successful operations. New numbers here since August 7th. According to the White House, over 1,800 arrests have been made. 16 no gang members have been arrested. 5 missing children have been recovered, and 188 firearms have been seized.
That's Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House, where later today, President Trump plans to sign an executive order to rebrand the Department of Defense so they can call it by its old name again, the War Department. And Pete Hegseth will now be referred to as Secretary of War, though it would take an act of Congress to formally change the defense name. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Hit while helping another trooper. Sunny and 63 on Monument Circle. The high today, 76. Rain possible later tonight and into the morning. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:02. A state trooper, thankfully, not killed while assisting another trooper on I-65 last night who was tending to a broken-down vehicle. The trooper was hit by a suspected drunk driver while sitting in her vehicle. Sergeant John Perrine.
We have to put ourselves in harm's way on a daily basis. The vast majority of those events go unheard of because nothing happens. But then when we are in a dangerous position, it could be potentially life-threatening.
The trooper is now recovering at home. IMPD officers responding to a shooting on South Meridian Street sometime around 3 this morning. One of the women says she and a friend were walking along the street when they got into an altercation with a man. He then shot them both and ran away. The two were taken to a hospital. Their conditions are unknown. IMPD is investigating. Right now, they say they do not have any information on the suspect. 2 firefighters are injured battling a house fire on the north side. IFD crews were called to the single-family home just after midnight. One firefighter was released after being seen, but the other is in unknown condition. What caused the blaze is under investigation. Will an abnormally dry August continue into this month?
We need to recognize that we're going to be going to a much drier pattern here through much of the month.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service says there is a chance of showers tonight and into tomorrow after we have dealt with an abnormally dry August as mentioned. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark has been sidelined for most of the season. John Herrick reports that she'll be staying sidelined.
Clark and the Fever both announced that Clark will have to miss the remainder of the season. She's battled several ailments this year, with a groin injury being the one that's hampered her the most and only allowed her to play in 13 games. The Fever's GM says the long-term health of Clark is their top priority, but time was just not on their side this year. The Fever have 3 games remaining, and they still have a shot to play in the WNBA playoffs. Reporting from outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And one of those games is tonight. The Fever host the Chicago Sky at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall Casey back in 1 minute.
WindowNation.com for an incredible deal right now in September. You're going to save big this month. Buy 2 windows and you'll get 2 for free. No payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with monthly payments, a down payment, or even any interest until 2027. I have Window Nation windows. They have brought the energy bills down in my house. My wife and I absolutely love our Window Nation windows.
Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty on all of their windows, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. And this deal, it's a good one. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Make no payments for 2 years. Nothing down, no payments. You don't have to deal with anything until 2027. 866-90-NATION. Call and talk to a rep. Schedule that free in-home estimate. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Kirby Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer, serving Hendricks and surrounding counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Oh, boy, Casey.
What?
I hate to do this.
Okay.
It's 10:06. Friday, September the 5th. And I got to do my least favorite part of every show.
Oh, no. What were you right about? Something.
For those of you who are longtime listeners, you know, but for all the new people, by the way, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. My least favorite part of every show, because I'm a very humble, modest individual.
Oh, yeah.
Is where I have to come on this program and tell you how you are a fabulous audience, how right I was about something. But we're about to talk about another example of how we have been telling you for years on this program, as your government, your state government, was offering all of these giveaways under Holcomb and the Republican yes-men in the General Assembly. For a variety of reasons, we're not objecting to any of it, that we were going to pay up big time. And the problem with what Holcomb was doing, and anytime government gets involved in something, the expansion of something becomes the new expectation, no matter how implausible that expectation would be.
Even though it's not sustainable, they kept doing it.
Right. So what Holcomb did, and he is a complete piece of garbage scumbag for doing this. And by the way, I've been at this for years now, Casey. It's not like that's some new. My favorite thing is when I get a little colorful in my descriptions of some of these people, and watching Casey's face. I don't even know if you know you're doing it, but just to see what sort of face Casey will make when I come up with creative expressions and descriptions of these politicians.
Yes. I often wonder how far you're going to go.
Well, that's part of being a trained professional. You got to know how far you can go.
Right up to the line.
Right. It's not easy to do what we do. It took me many years to figure out where the line is. Is that Holcomb tried to lead people to believe that he could shut society down in a COVID world, and not only would your life not be disrupted, but somehow you would be better off or get more for it. And what he was doing, the trick, is he was taking all the money that was being pumped in from the federal government, printed money, right? Printed by Trump, the Republicans, and then by Biden and the Democrats. And it's the same story, different parties. And instead of recognizing, hey, obviously this money isn't going to run forever.
This may end one day.
And we better be very judicious and responsible with what we choose to spend this money on. He opted to put the money into things that then became reoccurring expectations for the populace.
Yes.
When it never should have happened to begin with, or at the very least, any person with any amount of common sense should have realized this isn't going to last forever. See all the people that hopped on the Medicaid rolls, all the able-bodied people who were capable of working, who suddenly were getting free or nearly free health insurance. Well, any sort of, logical thinking would say, I didn't have this before 2020. How are they paying for this? This is all going to end someday. But people don't think of it that way. It's see Obamacare. Once the government gives in air quote you something, people, that becomes the expectation. That becomes the baseline. And when you take it away, which is what's happened in the state with the Medicaid stuff, all the people getting the freebies, the able-bodied people, because we ran out of money, the federal government stopped sending the money. There was no way we could sustain to pay it. Hey, you got to get off the thing.
Yep.
People are outraged. Well, what is this? Yeah, hey, fatty, you got to go back to work now. Sorry about your luck. Put the bonbons down, turn off the Jerry Springer reruns, and go lift something, right? But people are outraged over it. Same thing is going on with daycare now in the state of Indiana, in which this is an incredible statistic. It is. Everyone should be outraged that Holcomb did this. But you can't just be outraged at Holcomb. You got to be outraged at the Republican supermajorities who said nothing and went along with it.
Right.
So what Holcomb did during COVID is he dramatically expanded the voucher, or we'll just use the correct terminology, freebie giveaway for people to put their kids in daycare. From, get this, Casey, from 35,000 people pre-COVID to 55,000 people today. Think about that. Not quite doubled, but what is that? That's like a 40%, not quite doubled. Well, just remember when they said you don't always have a calculator in your pocket there, Casey?
And then there it is. Look
Yeah,
at
it's
that.
right here. I'm going to do this while we're on the air. So to do that, I would take 35. These are things I did learn in the public education system, and I'm doing this math on the fly here. 63% increase. We increased the amount of people from 35,000 to 55,000 who were getting taxpayer-funded daycare by that's 63%. Why? These people don't need it.
And this is post-COVID.
Post-COVID. We're what? We're 5 years on from 2020. And these people were still getting the freebies. And the state finally stepped in, FSSA, the Family Social Services Administration, stepped in and said, look, we've got a $225 million funding gap here. We've got to slash. What they're doing is they're slashing the rates of which they pay these daycare providers who are accepting state money for the kids in daycare by 10 to 35%.
Yep. So the reimbursement cuts are going to apply 10% to infants age 0 to 12 months, 10% to toddlers 13 to 36 months, 15% for preschoolers 3 to 5 years, and then 35% for school-age children, K through 12.
And the Capitol Chronicle has a big article on this. And, of course, there's the immediate outrage from, a variety of corners, including the Democrats. And it's like, this should have never happened to begin with. If you're an able-bodied person like myself, my wife, you go to work. Part of making the choice to have children is you provide for them, and that means you have to have somebody to watch them. So before you buy in the iPhone or the new sneakers or anything else, you need to pay for somebody to watch your kid. Now, look, daycare prices have exploded.
Yes.
And I feel more and more fortunate by the day having our daughter where we have her in and May, who watches her, does a phenomenal. By the way, did you like the costume picture I sent you?
I love the picture of all the kids in their costumes.
May got all the little children at the daycare to get dressed up in costumes.
Yeah. The picture you sent me was great because your daughter, she's your daughter, was looking right at the camera.
Yeah.
All the other kids are kind of distracted and playing with their toys, but they look cute as well. Your daughter knew where the camera was.
Got to know where that red light is at all times, right?
Right.
But the point is, like, I feel incredibly fortunate because I see what other people are having to pay and the services they're getting for that and all that. But the point is, what it costs, right? And my wife and I made a choice to have a child, and so our top priority is to provide for that kid. We're able-bodied people who can go to work. We would have no business having subsidized daycare. I have no business getting money from the state of Indiana, nor do many of these other people, which is why the number was 35,000, which is probably high pre-COVID. There's probably a bunch of people who didn't have business getting it then. Certainly don't have it now, and yet people are outraged because this giveaway that should have never happened is now, it's not being eliminated. They're just cutting back the subsidy that is being provided to the daycares.
So the interesting thing is, you said as of July 2025, there were about 55,000 Hoosier children who were receiving care via these vouchers. That's actually down. At one point, there was nearly 70,000. In December of 24, that number was 68,000.
So it's doubled.
Yeah,
so they doubled.
It was doubled.
They doubled 5 years on, or 4 years on from COVID at that point. They had doubled the amount of people. And by the way, we have basically essentially full employment in this country, or damn near full employment. It's not like we're in the throes of a recession or depression or anything else. So 4 years on from COVID, where there's near full employment in this country, We had doubled the amount of people getting subsidized daycare in Indiana from 35,000 to almost 70,000.
So FSSA said the shortfall is a result of unsustainable spending by the prior administration. They used the temporary COVID relief funds to increase the child care support.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Because during Holcomb's reign of terror, all we heard was how great he was from the Republican Party, from the legislators, at all. We were the John Connor, Casey of Terminator. We were the resistance. WIBC inside the conservative circles were the only people basically saying, this is crap, this is wrong, we're not going along with it. Everybody else, the General Assembly, all these people, they kept giving this stooge everything he wanted every time he asked for it. And now, what are they doing? Look at all the messes that were left and all the government that Braun is, quote-unquote, cutting. Of course, he had to raise taxes by $1 billion to pay the bills, so I question what he's actually cutting. But all we see Braun coming in and doing, or bragging about doing, are these executive orders undoing all the previous administration's policies, yet none of these people, Braun included, would say a damn bad word about the guy, and they labeled us as extremists and shock jocks and everything else, and now here they are admitting we were right. This guy Holcomb took a giant dump. It's on the state of Indiana, looked around and said, somebody better clean that up.
So now they're saying that these cuts could lead to reduced availability for care options, lower quality child care, and also an increased burden on the working family.
So let me get this
Already
straight.
struggling.
Casey, was there daycare before 2020?
Yes.
Was there quality daycare before 2020?
Yes.
But
I like to think so. I mean, I had my own daughter in daycare for a while.
Right, so you have experience with this.
And that's going back 25 years.
So you can vouch that in the 2000s there was quality daycare that existed. In the 2010s there was quality daycare. And yet now, unless 35,000 additional people are on taxpayer-funded daycare, that quality daycare won't exist. Go to work. Pay for your kid. Stop asking me to do it. That's the answer. All right, we got to talk about Caitlin Clark when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The state of Texas can require voter ID for mail-in ballots.
It's not required already.
But Joe Biden got 82 million legal votes, Nigel. If you think otherwise, you might as well put the tinfoil hat on, okay? I don't think it's asking too much to have some sort of proof that you're a legal citizen in your mail-in ballot. Find a way.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
Truck drivers and owner-operators, there's never been a better time to team up at Schneider. We have more team-friendly loads than ever, including express delivery parcel freight that offers great miles with no delays to keep the wheels turning. Plus, for a limited time, company team drivers may be eligible for a sign-on bonus of up to $16,000. Owner-operator teams may qualify for a $10,000 incentive. Explore team driver positions at SchneiderJobs.com and search team contracting jobs at SchneiderOwneroperators.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Okay. Should the Fever do the right thing and refund those ticket purchases for all the people who didn't get to see Caitlin Clark?
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of people will be very disappointed because they bought those tickets hoping to see her play, and now she's out.
Yeah, I think I told this story on air. This was several weeks ago, a month ago now, maybe more. My old pal Ben Verbanek, the most beautiful man in all of Terre Haute television, was up here, and we were downtown at a well-known watering hole, and it was post a Fever game. It was after the Caitlin Clark injury, and we were talking to one of the bartenders about the reaction to her lack of playing. Now, obviously, at the time, they thought she was going to come back,
right?
Blah, blah, blah. But this person told us, they said there is a certain level of unhappiness from people not who bought out of the gate from whoever, Ticketmaster, whoever it is that sells the tickets now, but from the people who bought on the secondary market, because those are the people that really paid out the nose to go see these games. And let's face it, they're not getting anything they paid for.
Yeah, she announced yesterday that she hoped to share a better update, but she won't be returning to play this season. She went on to thank everybody, and she said she was proud of how the team had only gotten stronger through adversity this year, and now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the playoffs. And I saw many people, saying, obviously, it's not her fault. They're not blaming her for being injured, but many people were commenting, oh, the Fever's still playing? Like...
Well, could you? Okay, could you tell me the score of the last Fever game?
No.
Nor could
I couldn't tell you when it was, who they played, what the score was. Nothing.
Yeah,
and this is coming from a household that is a fan,
right? And so, by the way, I texted
Caitlin Clark.
I texted your husband last night, and I said, "Hey, you still got all those Caitlin Clark magazines, or did you get rid of those already?"
He can't stop collecting magazines. He has issues.
Casey's house
That's
is the
a
best.
joke. Did you get that? He has issues?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Casey's house is great. Like the bathroom, you walk into the bathroom and you just got to walk around just stacks of magazines to use the can.
In his office.
Yeah. But we talked about this from the moment she came into the league. We said the WNBA is a niche sport. And I can say this as someone who is a fan of a niche sport. I love golf. But I also recognize that golf had a peak level of popularity between the years of 1997 and 2008, in which Tiger Woods was the dominant force, not just in the game of golf, but in all of sport. Golf will never see again the ratings and the fans and the intensity and the corporate sponsorship and all that other stuff. Now, there may be, more money because of inflation, et cetera. But I'm saying golf will never see that again because there'll never be another Tiger Woods. And that was a prolonged thing because he was so good for so long and he was such a world figure. But you look at hockey, which is a niche sport. With Gretzky, it was about a 5-year window when he came to Los Angeles from 88 to 93. The Mighty Ducks movie kept that going for a little bit. Boxing with Mike Tyson, it was basically 86 to 91 until he went to prison. There's just a window for these niche sports when they have these transcendent athletes, transformational athletes, and you better get the most out of it because people just get bored with it. They've seen it. They move on. They're not a fan of the sport. They're a fan of the person or the thing they're doing. And with Caitlin Clark, it was the fact that she couldn't even, and I'm not blaming her, she's injured, fine, but she couldn't even give 2 seasons of it. You're already seeing just a lack of interest because she is the league, she is the thing, and she's not playing.
So data shows that Fever games without her average 53% lower ratings, down to 850,000 viewers from their peak at 1.8 million. The league averages are still up overall, but there's been a whole lot of money that has been poured into the league to get them to that numbers. Now, my question is, this happened yesterday on the same day that they broke ground for a $78 million performance facility for the Indiana Fever.
Well, so let's come back to what you just said, because you made a good point. Yes, the ratings are up because there has been an onslaught of coverage by the media. And the one thing that this league will have going for it is the media now is wholly invested in its quote-unquote success. Like, it will never be, outside of Caitlin Clark, successful, just like the other niche sports struggled to win the phenom or the, this once-in-a-lifetime person was at their peak. But the media will not let it go. Like, whether she comes back next year and is a world beater, the media won't let it go. Now, it doesn't mean the public's going to be interested in it. It doesn't mean the public's going to buy it anymore. I think no matter, take the media manipulation out of it, she better have the greatest year in the history of the league next year, or people are going to just completely lose interest.
Okay, now this is on the heels of her revealing her new logo, right? And her new sponsorship deal. But a lot of people are pointing out Michael Jordan missed 80% of his second year as well. So will she come back next year and be bigger and better than ever?
Wait.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I just compared her to Michael Jordan.
There were a couple guys named Bird and Magic that I think had the NBA rolling in a pretty good fashion when Jordan showed up on the scene. And this is what we come back to. Jordan became the face of the league, and he's the greatest basketball player of all time, arguably the greatest athlete of all time. He's certainly on the Mount Rushmore and part of that conversation. But he became that figure on a league that was a financial juggernaut because of the emergence and surgence of Bird and Magic in the 80s, and they lifted that league, right? It wasn't a niche league. Just like in the NFL, if Patrick Mahomes goes down in his game tonight, week 1, he's the best player in the league, but the league is going to roll because the NFL, the National Football League, is a financial freight train. Right? It's everywhere. People love football. The league itself is bigger than any individual player. In the case of Caitlin Clark, she's far bigger than the league itself. And people clearly have lost interest in the league despite all this mass, media promotion. And unless she comes back next year, even if she's just pretty good, which it's hard to recover from these injuries, that league is in massive, massive trouble unless she can figure out a way to get it together next year.
Do you think that the Simons are now regretting their $78 million investment, 108,000
they lose
square
that
foot?
And a couch cushion.
So no big deal for them?
You know what they should do? Give that money to us.
By the way, the center is scheduled to open before the 27 WNBA season. Will people still be interested by then?
A lot of stuff, this stuff is political correctness, and they're doing it to check a box and look at how we treat the WNBA team. That league was a financial dumpster fire before Caitlin Clark showed up, and people will lose interest, and no matter how much the media tries to save it, they do this stuff all the time. People are just going to be like, it's a niche sport. If you like it, great, but it's not something the public en masse is going to consume. And I can say all this because I'm a huge fan of a niche sport.
Did you see that there are some cities around Indiana that will pay you to move there?
Oh, can we talk about that next?
Yeah.
How much? Are we talking like real money or like $7? Or?
Well, we'll find out.
Okay, very good.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling. A familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling. A familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Pat Sullivan here. It's that time of year in Indiana when you don't know if you need your AC unit blasting or your furnace to start kicking. Better have both prepared with a $49 AC unit and furnace tune-up from Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Is it sweater weather or tank top weather? Nobody knows. But we do know that you can ensure total comfort inside your home for only $49. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Getting sued by the nation's capital. You've got a sunny sky. It's 65 in the Circle City. The high 76 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Brought to you by Window Nation. The Trump administration is being sued by D.C. for its deployment of the National Guard.
It came on the same day that the D.C. National Guard announced it is extending its deployment. Their patrols will last through the end of November. This does not include Guards members from other states, but D.C.'s Attorney General Brian Schwab does not like any of it, stating no American city should have the U.S. military, particularly out-of-state military who are not accountable to the residents and untrained in local law enforcement, policing its streets. It's D.C. today, but could be any other city tomorrow. We filed this action to put an end to this illegal federal overreach.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. This comes as President Trump is threatening to send National Guard troops also to Chicago and perhaps Baltimore. The U.S. economy added jobs at a slower pace in the month of August, only adding 22,000, a figure well below the estimated 75,000. The unemployment rate also rising to 4.3% in August, which is up from 4.2% last month. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett joined Fox's America's Newsroom with reaction.
We expect this number will be revised up. That's been the pattern over and over. And if that happens, then it'll be consistent with all the other indicators we're seeing. Industrial production is at an all-time high. Capital spending is up 8% over the first half of the year.
The August data follows a similarly soft employment report last month that led to President Trump firing the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. A federal appeals court is allowing Florida to temporarily keep its Alligator Alcatraz deportation and detention center open. Last week, detainees were being transferred out of the facility, but now a three-judge panel is putting a previous ruling on hold. The state just opened a second facility, too, known as the Deportation Depot. And former MLB All-Star first baseman Mark Teixeira is running for Congress. Teixeira going for the seat currently held by Congressman Chip Roy in Texas's 21st Congressional District. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Since 1983, over 80,000 customers have trusted their home to B-Window.
We're now employee-owned, and that means we treat your home like it's our own.
From energy-efficient windows that can cut your energy costs by up to 50%.
To stylish doors, siding, and custom bathroom models, we have you covered.
And every project is backed by our industry-leading warranty.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window,
we mean business.
Hey guys, it's Rob. Big event coming up September the 18th at the Lucas Estates. Yes, that Lucas Estates. Let's face it, people like us, we don't get into the Lucas Estates. But this could be. Stop shaking your head at me, Casey. You're not exactly high society over there either. Anyway, September 18th. Life Church is partnering with Project Rescue, and we love Project Rescue. They're one of the leading organizations across the globe to stamp out human sex trafficking. And they're coming together, Life Church and Project Rescue, for a free breakfast. Yes, that's right, a free breakfast at the Lucas Estates where you can learn about the work that Project Rescue is doing. Now, you know, we love Project Rescue. Donate all the money I get from the Hammer and Nigel store to Project Rescue. And Life Church would love the opportunity for you to join them in Project Rescue. September the 18th at the Lucas Estates. To learn more and register, log on to lifechurchin.com.
This is Robert with Kirby Heating and Air. Go to kirbyheating.com to schedule with one of our qualified service technicians.
Kirby Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
All right, we got to get to housing here in a second. But first, I saw this stat on the internet, so it must be true.
Of course.
It's Kendall Casey show, by the way. I'm Rob. That's Casey. It's from The Athletic, I believe, which is an online sports publication.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts fans are the least hopeful fan base in the National Football League.
I believe that used to belong to the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
But now the Lions have something to cheer for, and now it's the Colts that are downtrodden.
This is fascinating. So the Colts fan base comes in at 7%. The next closest are the Saints, who are the worst team in the league. The Saints may not win a game all year. I mean, they're going to be dreadful. The Cowboys at 13%, even though they have arguably the most fans in the National Football League, did they just lose every year?
Yeah.
Like they found a way to lose that game last night. Although they did cover, for those of us who pay attention to that, losing by 4 is less than 8.5, and that's all that really matters, Casey. Is 4 less than 8.5? The answer is yes.
The Eagles won.
The Eagles won. The Browns are at 18%. They're dreadful almost every year. The Dolphins 19%. So, and then there's a huge jump up to the Jets
What is
at
that?
42%.
7% are hopeful?
Are hopeful, yes.
Okay.
And I think what that means is, obviously, it's not what team's going to be the best or the worst. The Colts, I think at the very worst case scenario, are going to be a middle of the pack type of team, somewhere between 7 and 9 wins is the most likely outcome. So it doesn't mean you're going to be the worst team. It just means there's no hope we're going to be really good.
The expectation is very low.
There's no hope we're going to make a deep playoff run. There's no hope we're going to be in the Super Bowl. And weirdly, the Colts have sort of just embedded themselves in what they call kind of purgatory in the NFL, where you're never. Now, they were bad a couple years ago when they got the Richardson pick, but by and large, the Colts are never a 2-win team. They're almost never a 14-win team. They're just always 7 to 9. We're on the fringe of making the playoffs, but then, even if we make it, we're going out in the first round.
Okay, so insert rant about cost of the stadium here.
Okay, very good. Thanks for teeing me up. I didn't know you were going to do that. Which it does come back to. We unfortunately, I promise you, Casey and I did not discuss that whatsoever. It does come back to, though, we as taxpayers have a financial investment in the Colts by force. And unfortunately, whether you're a football fan or not, you need to be cheering for the Colts because your wallet is at stake. And to your point, when you have a mediocre team that the fan base is not excited about, and we made this financial investment as taxpayers with tax increases based on, hey, all these people will be coming to Indianapolis and it'll be this financial juggernaut and they'll be spending all this money and blah, blah, blah. Well, if by week 7 or 8, people are already just sort of, lukewarm to the team, and by week 13 or 14, our final 2 or 3 home games, there's 30,000 people in Lucas Oil Stadium or 40,000 people in Lucas Oil Stadium versus the 50 or 60 that there should be. Well, that's not a very good investment for us, now is it?
No, but there's something else to consider. As the Colts have their first regular season game against the Dolphins on Sunday, fans are going to, if people who are attending the game, no matter where their hope level is, they're going to have to contend with several construction projects that are surrounding the stadium.
Tell me more, Casey.
Well, you've got the construction on that hotel. You think it's really pretty, don't you?
Boy, it is so ugly.
You like what it's adding to the skyline.
I would reject staying there just based on the look of things. That's the taxpayer-funded hotel, by the way, yes. It would make sense that a taxpayer-funded anything would look like that hotel looks.
You also have a lot of work going on Illinois Street and Capitol Avenue.
Which means we can't get to work.
Yeah, but fans are going to have a hard time making their way around the stadium, too.
So, there you go. If you're a Colts fan, congratulations. If you're optimistic about the team, you're in very rare air. Only 7% of your fellow Colts fans share your hopefulness for the 2025 season.
So there are dozens of small and mid-sized cities across the U.S. They're offering cash or housing perks or extras to attract people to live there.
To move there.
Yeah.
Why would they do this? I would want fewer people living in my city, not more.
This is part of a platform called Make My Move.
Oh, jeez.
And the goal is to boost local economies and fill population gaps in less expensive areas.
Population gaps? What does that even mean?
Why are they doing this? Well, let's see. Each worker brings $80,000 to the local economy.
Here's the thing. The worker, anytime there's some economic development project, they always talk about the jobs. The job to the community, unless the person is going to live there, as you said, is completely irrelevant because the income tax is paid where the person lives, not where they work. So when you look on your paycheck, you live in Marion County, I live in Hendricks County, you're going to see a different county and a different tax rate for where we live. And even though we both work in Indianapolis, my money goes to Hendricks County, yours goes to Marion County. Now, there's been a big fight for years to flip that, which it probably makes some level of sense. Now, the donut counties have fought this because so many people come to Indianapolis to work. But if you actually think about it, where do I use the roads the most?
Where you live.
The city of Indianapolis. No, the city of Indianapolis. I drive here every day. Like, I mean, everything I
drive. That's right, because you don't leave your house.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm saying in terms of working, I'm making income. That's a perhaps, which is why, as part of the road funding bill this year, the city was given an opportunity they'll match, I think 50 million is the number.
With the crossroads.
That the state would match the number. But the reality of it is, the majority of road travel I do, 465-70, now it's an interstate, of course, but then the downtown area, as glorious as these roads are, is the city of Indianapolis. Hendricks County gets money off of me, and I use very little Hendricks County roads other than to get, and they're all town roads that I use anyway, to get from my house to the interstate. And so that's been a battle for quite a while. But yes, driving in downtown is still hell on earth and avoided at all costs.
Well, let's see if any of these perks will entice you to move. Noblesville,
yes,
offering $15,000 in perks, including $5,000 in cash. They also have a wellness stipend, a co-working space, and theme park passes.
So wait. Let's say you're like me, you've lived in the same place for 40 years, and you've been an upstanding citizen, and you've paid your taxes, and you've volunteered for stuff, and you've helped the community. You get nothing. They're not giving you anything,
right?
For being the person who made the place people want to live. You get nothing. But if you're a foreigner, both foreigner in the sense of out of state, or in many cases you're in on an H-1B visa, you're a foreigner to the country, they'll pay you to come?
They'll pay you to move there. Noblesville, population of 75,000 people. Now, there are a couple stipulations here.
Yes.
You have to be 18 or older, and you have to have a household job, making at least $80,000 annually.
But if I'm making $80,000 annually and I've been there and done the things that made the place a place people want to be, I get nothing. But if I'm a foreigner that comes in, you'll give them money?
You also get an exclusive welcome event to speak directly to the mayor.
But if I've been there for 40 years, I don't get anything.
Correct. That's
what
right.
planet? Look, these people that want to be critical of us saying, oh, you guys are conspiracy theorists. When we talk about being replaced, what other conclusion could you come to? What other conclusion could you come to other than we are being replaced? That the fact that they will pay some foreigner to come in and move into their city, but if you've made it a great place, you get nothing. You don't get the meeting with the mayor. You don't get the welcome event. You don't get any event. You get nothing other than a higher, never-ending, going up tax bill. That's what you get. But if you're from outside, well, red carpet, baby. How could you come to any other conclusion other than we are being replaced?
In Fort Wayne, which is the second most populated city in the state, more than 273,000 people living there, the city is offering a total of $14,480 in incentives to those living outside of Indiana. Got to be 18 or older again, have to have a job making at least $50,000 annually. Some of the incentives include 5% in down payment assistance and closing costs on a house.
Wait, which city is this?
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne.
Discounts and other perks at one of Fort Wayne's favorite local breweries. Plus, you get 2 complimentary passes to the Fort Wayne Botanical Conservatory.
But what is Fort Wayne giving to people who have lived there their whole lives and been really good citizens?
You get nothing. Even if you just move across town, if you're one side of Allen County to the other.
So, yeah. All right. A very uplifting story, Casey. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Hammer is not with us today, but we've got to talk about some music news coming up from 93 WIBC.
Coming up on the Hammer and Nigel Show, Colts Game 1 preview. Plus, are the feds really thinking about a trans gun ban? Plus, it's Beer Simple Friday, 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC. What's up, Indy? Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. Now is the best time of the year to buy new windows. Whether you have old, drafty windows or cheap builder-grade ones, September is the perfect month to protect your home from cooler weather. And right now, Window Nation is offering their most popular offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, no interest, no monthly payments, no down payments for 2 years.
And did I mention their installation crews can replace a house full of windows in 1 day or less? With Window Nation, you get top-quality windows from a trusted company, all at a reasonable price because they know replacing windows is an investment, and they want to make it affordable for you. Don't miss Window Nation's most popular offer. Right now, Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And remember, you'll pay nothing for 2 years. Hurry, Indy. You need to hurry because this sale won't last forever. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to get that free quote.
Pat Sullivan here. It's that time of year in Indiana when you don't know if you need your AC unit blasting or your furnace to start kicking. Better have both prepared with a $49 AC unit and furnace tune-up from Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Is it sweater weather or tank top weather? Nobody knows. But we do know that you can ensure total comfort inside your home for only $49. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll talk with an oncologist within 48 hours of your diagnosis, so you won't have to wait to start finding answers.
They got me in pretty quickly to meet my team. They gave me the plan and what they knew and what they wanted to do. I was really impressed with the care team and the approach they took.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swainco 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
See a wreck on 465? Find a new pothole on your way to work? You can let Matt Bear know and help out your fellow travelers. Text WIPC to 317-239-9393 and join the text club.
I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is.
You know, there's a whole bunch of Foreigner fans who hated this version of Foreigner. And those people are just full of it because this is the best version of Foreigner.
You think so?
Well, you know, like all of these groups, these people who they don't want to think about their music. They just want some robotic, catchy thing. They don't want the songs to have meaning. They don't have to put any effort into it. It happened with REO Speedwagon when everybody got mad at Kevin Cronin in the 80s when he started. What do they call that? Is it ballad rock or whatever the name of it is?
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Styx, the people who hate Dynasty Young. The people just don't want to put the effort into the music. And it's just easier to lash out at brilliance rather than embrace it and participate in it.
I remember Foreigner 4 was the album. I believe that's the one that has Jukebox Hero on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play that album and sing into my hairbrush. Oh, I was a rock star in my bedroom.
Was this when you were feuding with Jenny Ruby?
Yeah, it would have been that same era.
So for those who don't know, Casey went to school with Kirk Herbstreit, famed Ohio State quarterback, now sports football commentator. Casey was madly in love with Kirk Herbstreit.
It's not.
And she had a feud with a girl by the name of Jenny Ruby who also had eyes for Kirk Herbstreit.
No.
And
we played basketball on the same team, Jenny and I did.
Well, there's lots of people who didn't like each other on the same basketball
Lane,
team.
and I lived on Shady Creek Lane.
Is that close? It's like a stone's throw from each
Yeah,
other?
it's all part of the same neighborhood.
Where did Kirk Herbstreit live?
I don't remember.
Well, you were over at his house all the time.
No, I was not.
Did you tell me that Kirk Herbstreit big-timed everybody at your reunion and brought security with him?
He did. The high school reunion, he showed up with his crew.
That's like actual security people?
Yes, they were big fellas.
Not like he just rolled in with his bros. He actually just showed up with like legit, do not get within 5 feet of Mr. Herbstreit.
He was nice. I mean, it wasn't like he didn't give us the Heisman, the stiff arm.
Did you engage in conversation with Mr. Herbstreit?
I did. I asked him if Jenny was coming.
Was he like, who?
No, he was like, oh, I don't know. That would be really nice to see her.
Who? And he's like, who are you again?
Yes, pretty much. He was like, did we go to school together? Do I know you?
Now, was your school big?
Yes.
Oh, it was.
Oh, yes. I mean, they used to call it like a community college.
So it was there would
very
be a
big high
reason
school.
he would not remember people, right?
Correct. Yeah, there was a reason he would not know me.
You know, I wonder about that now. There's a point we played The Foreigner. We'll get to it here in a second. But I wonder about that now. Like, I think there were 1,600 kids in my school when I graduated. I think there's something like 32 or 3,500 in the school now.
Yeah.
You knew or recognized almost every single person in the school. You knew the names, at least, of most of the people in the school. And I would say you had some sort of social engagement with probably at some point 75 to 80% of the kids at some point. It didn't mean you were best friends. It didn't even mean you were friends. Like
you were aware of
you had
them.
conversed with them. You would be able to all that stuff. I wonder now, not only just because of the amount of kids, but the size of these schools, what percentage, like if you go to a Fishers or a Brownsburg or certainly Ben Davis or whatever, like what those numbers are in terms of like what percentage of kids you go to school with, you even have any sort of conversation
I would guess
with
it's even more fragmented now.
Oh, totally, right?
Yeah.
Because why would you even try?
Yeah.
That was the thing about it. It was like there was a sense of community there. So even if you weren't, you had to see these people every day. You had lockers next to them or whatever. I wonder now what percentage of that, but also the communities are fragmented. It's not just the school that's fragmented.
Yeah.
Like you saw people out in the community when Brownsburg was a community of 10,000 people or 15 or 20,000 people. You knew a lot of the people. You knew the faces, even if you didn't know the names. I don't feel that way anymore.
It was about 2,400 students, and this was in 1988, so that was a big school for going back.
You graduated at 10?
Yes. It was very advanced.
It's amazing.
But it was broken up into quads. You had the north, south, west, and east quads, and all of your classes were in that quad area. And if somebody was in a different quad, you really didn't engage with them as much. So I believe that Kirk was in a different quad. And I always like to point out that they misspelled his name in the yearbook. Not his last name, Herbstreit. His first name, Crick.
No kidding. And he was like the star.
Yeah.
And they got it wrong.
Clearly a typo.
That's hilarious that forever he will know that everybody knew him as Crick Herbstreit. I wonder what happened to Crick. Where's he?
Right.
All right. So we played Foreigner because what they want, this is crazy to me. Foreigner wants to play Taylor Swift's wedding.
Yes. They put an announcement up on Instagram, and they said, we've been learning what love is for 40 years, and now Taylor and Travis have too. Please accept this as our formal offer to be your wedding band.
Okay, so my question is, because there was something I saw a while ago that Foreigner was doing the decent thing and getting the legitimate band back together, that being Lou Gramm, the singer, and then Mick Jones, sort of the orchestra architect, much like a Jimmy Page and Robert Plant with Led Zeppelin, because they've had this pretend band for many years. So I don't even remember what the guy's name is that pretended to be Lou Gramm. And so my question is, well, the first thing I'd want to know, is this like legitimate Foreigner with Lou Gramm and Mick Jones, or is this pretend Foreigner with the imitator Lou Gramm guy singing the songs?
Doesn't say, but they're definitely shooting their shot, right? They're saying, we're available.
Well, let's pretend it is the legitimate Foreigner with Lou Gramm on the vocals. Yeah, that's what Taylor Swift wants. A bunch of dudes in their 70s who haven't had a hit in 40 years.
They haven't had a hit since she's been alive. I mean,
right, that's what I just said.
Their music predates her
That's
existence.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. So is this a legitimate offer? I'm sure they would if Taylor and Travis said, yeah, come on down and play. But I think this is more them trying to use Taylor and Travis's publicity to kind of latch on.
There's
and get
no
some
chance.
For them.
There's no chance it would actually happen. They're just putting the offer out there because people like TMZ are doing articles on it. So it's good publicity for them.
The other thing, I don't hear a lot of people talking about their wedding and who's going to be there, where's it going to be. I don't think people are really engaged in the wedding. I've seen more people talking about, will Taylor Swift be playing at the Super Bowl this year?
Well, I think it's, will Taylor Swift actually have a wedding? Because
like,
I'm not.
Will it actually happen?
I'm not. I'm convinced the ultimate thing for her career would be, because her fortune has been made off of, I date the same sort of skeezy guy and then that guy does the thing that everybody knew he was going to do or behaved in a manner that everybody knew, and yet I make $1 gajillion writing an album about how it was everybody's fault but mine.
But doesn't Travis Kelce break that mold?
No, he's an insufferable, like, you've seen, like, Mr. Give Me 93 COVID shots?
Yeah.
Like, what? No.
Well, I mean, he's not a Hollywood actor. He's not in the music business at all.
He's the thing she always wanted to be, which is the whole song, that first song. You're a team captain, and I'm on the I'm convinced at this point it could be. Just bear with me, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the ultimate? If the boyfriend breakup album sold this many albums, how much would the fiance breakup? How many would that sell? Right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, once her whole business plan is going to go up in smoke. And look, I have a track record with this. My hero is Bruce Springsteen. He wrote all those awesome albums about working on cars and chasing after chicks. And then once he got married, what happened? He stunk. He went through about 15 years of being awful. And that's what's going to happen to her. She won't be the victim anymore. The whole business plan's going to go up in smoke, and people are going to be like, just like we were with Springsteen, I want to hear about your inner pain because I have inner pain. I don't want to hear about your happiness. I don't want to hear about how rich you are. I don't want to hear about how it all worked out for you. Tell us how it is for us.
Stop being happy. Bruce Springsteen, by the way, releasing Nebraska 82 Expanded Edition on October 17th. What is this?
Money me. Give me money.
Electric
money now.
Nebraska
That's what this is.
recordings.
I'm out of stuff to put out, so I found this thing. It's like a rummage sale. That's what this guy's doing now.
Yeah, he's like, put it all out there. See what sticks. Who cares?
He gave an interview I saw recently where they asked, why are you doing all this stuff? He did some documentary. He goes, something effective. He said, I could be dead soon.
Right.
He's
cashing in. That's it exactly. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, a state trooper is going to be okay after being struck by a suspected drunk driver. We'll tell you where that incident happened. Another shooting overnight in downtown Indy. IMPD says 2 women were shot. What exactly led up to it? And the Fever have just 3 games to go in the season. One of them is tonight as they look to hold on to a playoff spot. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Time for Fox News. It's 11 o'clock.
A lot less hiring than expected. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's in the report out this morning.
Just 22,000 new jobs were created in August. The unemployment rate rose to 4.3%, the highest rate since October of 2021. June and July's job creation together have been revised lower by 21,000.
That's Fox's Jenny Casola. The White House Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett predicts the August hiring will be revised higher later. And he says there's a silver lining in the report.
Wage numbers are fantastic. The wage growth is almost at 4%, which means that the typical wage earner in America right now has gotten a $500 raise already because of Donald Trump.
On Wall Street, stocks started the day rising. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ hit all-time highs. That has changed. The NASDAQ is now down 140 points. The Dow is dropping 370. Later today, President Trump plans an executive order to rebrand the Department of Defense. Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen just told Fox.
I love the idea of getting back to the Department of War. We are in a very volatile time. I'd say it's one of the most volatile times we've had since prior to World War II.
And speaking of that, days after U.S. military strike hit a boat, killing 11 suspected gang members smuggling illegal drugs near the coast of Venezuela.
The Department of Defense says a Venezuelan aircraft flew near a U.S. Navy ship in international waters in a move it calls highly provocative. GOP House Armed Services Committee member Carlos Jimenez says the move, quote, amounts to an obscene escalation that will not be taken lightly.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Israel has hit a high-rise building in Gaza City said to be used for Hamas surveillance, continuing a deadly escalation of the war. The same day, Hamas released a new video showing 2 hostages who are among the 20 believed to still be alive. One of them, likely speaking under duress, pleaded for Israel to end the war so they could return to their families. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Thankfully, she's okay. Nothing on your radar, a sunny sky. 68 in downtown Indianapolis. 76 will be the high today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 11:02. An Indiana state trooper hurt in a crash Thursday that police say never should have happened. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
Feeling very fortunate this morning that Trooper Howard only suffered minor injuries.
That's State Police Sergeant John Perrine, who says Trooper Haley Howard was just trying to help another trooper, but
because of somebody's selfish decision to drive impaired, she was struck while sitting in her car at highway speeds on I-65.
And the person who was driving the car that collided with the trooper's car is in jail. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 women are recovering after being shot in downtown Indy early this morning. A woman told police her and a friend were walking along South Meridian Street at around 3 a.m. when they got into some sort of altercation with a man who then shot them both. He ran away, and the 2 women were taken to a nearby hospital. IMPD is now investigating. 2 Indianapolis firefighters are dealing with injuries they got while battling a house fire on the city's north side. Crews were dispatched to the home at around 12:45. What caused the blaze is now under investigation. Warmer temperatures aren't going away just yet.
At least by the Tuesday time frame, back into the mid-70s to up to 80.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there is a chance of rain later tonight and into tomorrow morning. However, drier patterns are expected to stick around this month, much like August. And the Indiana Fever will be without Caitlin Clark for the remainder of the season. The team and Clark made that announcement Thursday. She's been shut down due to her lingering groin injury. Head coach Stephanie White.
They've been able to play with all different kinds of lineups and all different kinds of players, and they've got to continue to take it to another level. You know, we don't want or need anybody to play outside of themselves necessarily.
The Fever face the Chicago Sky tonight as they push for a playoff spot. Tip-off is set for 7:30 Eastern. Also tonight, Week 3 of Indiana High School football. Tomorrow, IU and Purdue have home games in Week 2 of college football action. IU takes on Kennesaw State, and the Colts are closer to opening the season on Sunday when they battle the Dolphins at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Colts right now 1.5-point favorites. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with Mark Dietel. Perhaps you're worried you need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Luke and Emma in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Dietel. We began building our new dream home, and we needed to sell our old place at a great price to pay for it. The Mark Dietel team made it easy with multiple offers in the first weekend and closed in 25 days at the price we wanted. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, Dietel.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Kirby Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer, serving Hendricks and surrounding counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Why can't the politicians just be honest from the beginning?
I don't know. Character flaw?
Because like you see this all the time where they do something. You know it's just step one. You know what the end result is going to be.
Yes.
And instead of just saying, look, this is step one, and in 5 years, here's where we're going to be, and thank you, have a good day, they always will use words like pilot program, or we're going to see how it goes. I think about the taxpayer-funded preschool initiative under Pence, where they're like, it's just a pilot program. It's whatever, it was a 5-year thing. And by into year one, they're like, okay, we're expanding it. But
this is a huge success.
But I thought it was a pilot program. I thought we were studying. I thought you were taking 5 years. Here you are, year one, and you're just already expanding it. Why didn't you just say we're doing this? The same thing now is going on, and we called this.
Yes, we did. I believe they call that the trickle of truth, Rob. Little by little, more comes out.
With these speed zone cameras. So WRTV has the article that INDOT has said, as we told you was going to happen, regardless of what the data showed, but the data showed what we thought it would show, that they're going to expand these speed zones where there are cameras. A revenue-generating zone. Why don't we call it what it is, right?
That's what it is.
Around construction sites where there's a camera, it will photograph you. If you're going above a certain speed, then there's a tiered thing where first is a letter in the mail, and then you start getting fines and da-da-da-da. And INDOT is saying, well, we've seen a 70% reduction in excessive speeds. Of course you have, which is what you were going to get. If people know they're being watched, they're going to do the thing. It's human nature, right?
Yeah. They said that the program was to help drivers slow down and save lives, and they called it a success. So now INDOT expanding its safe zone pilot program, and they're going to be adding more cameras in more construction areas. They're going to add speed cameras back to the I-70 construction zone in Hancock County between mile markers 105 and 109, which is near Greenfield, and also in Steuben County in northeast Indiana. There's a construction zone on I-80.
Okay, fine, but just do it. Stop acting like you care about what the data says. Stop, like you're going to do it. Just do it. Here is the one thing, and I've talked about this from the beginning, that to me is a major concern. Because remember when we went to the National Sports Convention
in Chicago?
Yeah, and we went up 65. They were up there. There was a patch where they're up there. I do worry that you are creating potentially an unsafe environment. Okay, so like when we went, there were no workers out there, right? You're in the speed zone, but there's no workers. Okay, if the goal is to save lives, then you can't have it if there's no workers. Just be honest. We're trying to get revenue out of you. If there's nobody working, I mean, we went through that stretch and there was nobody out there. There were no lives to be saved. There were just a bunch of cones. There was no work being done. There were just a bunch of cones, and now we're in a speed trap. So don't tell me you're trying to save lives because there were no workers out there working. If you're going to say to save lives, there's no workers out there, there should be a big sign that says the thing is off because there's nobody working. It's the lack of candor and honesty about what we're doing. The other thing I worry about is there are certain areas, and that stretch on 465 is one of them, where I'm Mr. Paranoia, right? Like I'm a notorious rule follower. So I'm trying to drive the exact speed limit, not even be up where a misread could get you or whatever. Well, now I feel like I'm putting myself potentially at danger
because you're going the speed limit.
The speed limit when everybody else is still not going the speed limit.
Going
and the
faster.
people behind you are potentially getting put in danger. And I do worry that if you get too cute with this, you're going to create an environment in which you're actually starting to put people in danger who otherwise are not. Everybody wants our workers to be protected. Nobody's saying that. But don't tell me it's about saving workers' lives if clearly there's no construction work being done.
And
but
you still have
you're,
the camp.
you're still going to find me and don't tell me what it is.
Yeah, so INDOT said they've seen around 70% reduction in excessive speeds in the area. And I guess, according to them, excessive speed would be 11 miles per hour or over, because that's the limit that they're saying with these speed cameras. If you're driving 11 miles per hour or more over the posted speed limit, you're going to receive this violation in the mail. And the first one is a warning. The second violation is a $75 fine. And then the third is a $150 fine.
So the other part of this is I fear the next step, more so than the speed cameras, because look, I know where they're at, and while it's nerve-wracking for me to drive through them because I got the OCD, and it's just it makes me very paranoid.
Do you smile as you drive by?
The one that really does give me concern is that the next step is going to be these red light cameras. And here is why I say this, because they have fought the red light cameras thus far in the state of Indiana. But I lived near Port of Wilmington for several years when I owned my radio station. They had the red light cameras.
They have them all over Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. And last weekend when I was there, you can see them everywhere. And they actually show, your GPS will tell you.
Oh.
Red light camera, next light.
What if I don't have a GPS?
Well,
what if I barely have an automobile?
Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
What if you have a car that you have to use a key to get into it? That's the other thing about my car. It's like when I park somewhere, I lock my doors, but it's like,
Why?
who would want anything in this car? Like, it's barely an automobile. It's like a Fred Flintstone car at this point.
Right.
But the red light cameras really scare me because I experienced them when I was living near the Port of Wilmington for a while, part-time. And you've got to be like a certain percentage through the thing on a yellow light in order to not get hit. Like, the light can go red, but you got to be through a certain, like, it was incredibly confusing. And I found myself probably being a less safe driver because I was so hesitant on whether to go or not go, slam on the brakes, don't slam on the brakes. The red light cameras are the ones that really worry me. I can deal with these because I know you see them, whatever. I generally drive within the 10 anyway. But the red light cameras are the ones that I think would cause a lot of havoc if they ever go to
before you
those.
know it, INDOT will have a pilot program. And they'll try it out for a few months and then say it was a super success and we're going to implement that across the state.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's what they do. It's typical with government, right? It's not growing, it's dying. We see that on every single level. Okay, they
were giving away money to the people. I mean, like, you can't. The economy was never as good as they pretended it to be. It was funny. I was reading some investment stuff the other day, and they were showing
little light reading.
They were showing the track record of the S&P over the past like 5 or 6 years, and there have been massive swings in the S&P. Like, one year it was up 23%, one year was down 24%. Now, overall it had gone up, certainly, but the wild swings. And in reading that, one of the things that you realize is the economy has just all artificially been produced the past 5 or 6 years. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. We just threw a bunch of money at this. It went up. We threw a bunch of money at that. It went up. There was suffering when the reality would kick in. So none of it's real. So we don't really know where the economy actually is because so much of it has been on the backs of government subsidies, the electric vehicle stuff, the green credits, all of this stuff. None of that's real. It's government created. It's not real. It's not where the people are. It's not what the people are buying. It was subsidized and invented by the government. That's the first part of the equation. A lot of that stuff has started to stop. The second part is, somebody told me this when I was running for public office, and it has always stayed with me, and it's always been true. The economy knows how to deal with good news. It knows how to deal with bad news. They're like cockroaches in a nuclear holocaust. The cockroaches will find a way to survive. What they don't deal well with is uncertainty. And Trump keeps creating mass uncertainty because of the instability related to these tariffs and what he is or isn't going to do. He would have been far better served if he wanted to create stability in the economy to come out with a plan, release the plan, boom, done, here we go. Good, bad, whatever, Society will adjust around it. But when you keep, now there's tariffs on these people. Now there's not. Now there's tariffs on these people. Now there's not. You've got a 30-day period. Oh, now we're extending an additional 30 days. The economy does not know what the final thing is going to be. And when they don't know what the final thing is going to be, they don't know how to manipulate the rules, because that's what they do, right? Whatever the rules are, they've got accountants, they've got lawyers, they've got ways to get around it. But if they don't know what the rules are going to be, they don't know how to manipulate them, and thus they just don't participate.
So this morning it came out that Donald Trump wants the Supreme Court to rule quickly on whether most of his tariffs are legal. So he's going down that road. I thought I saw something where he just announced another tariff on another country, or changed the tariff number. I mean, it's Friday, so of course he changed a number because it's a day that ends in Y. But that contributes to all of this is the economic uncertainty and some of the other key factors impacting the job growth. They're citing the labor shortages and also artificial intelligence adoption. There were some key industries that saw losses: trade, transportation, and utilities, surprising, lost 17,000 jobs. Education and health services lost 12,000 jobs. But leisure and hospitality actually added jobs, 50,000 jobs, which kind of offset some of the losses. That surprises me, because you're hearing stories about Las Vegas is dead, nobody's traveling, leisure, people are saving because of all of this economic uncertainty, yet that is the area that saw some growth.
I think people are just still doing stuff, though. Maybe they're not doing stuff in the sense of we're going on cross-country trips like they once did. But I think post-COVID, people are like, hey, they'll shut us down again at some point. I'm just going to do all the things I want to do before we got to endure whatever the thing we got to endure again is.
There was another report that came out that said unemployed workers outnumber available jobs for the first time since 2021. There are less job openings than job seekers.
I think you've got major instability in the economy, but I think there's been major instability in the economy for years. I think it's been masked by the magical money printing factory, the subsidies, the giveaways, the tax incentives. And at some point, we got to get the economy to where it actually is so we know how to build on that. And until Trump comes up with some consistent plan as it relates to these tariffs, and what is he actually trying to accomplish? That's the bigger question. Like, he's doing the stuff with India now, right? And that's about China and about Russia. Okay, but do you think you're going to break India over some tariffs? Like, I don't see it happening. Maybe he'll be proven right in the end, but I think he is playing with fire. And the fact that he's trying to screw all of us by lowering these interest rates, I mean, if you check, it's kind of fun for me, this is what I do in my spare time, to check like what CDs and bonds and stuff are paying. It's not good, because they're anticipating again that they're going to cut these interest rates, and it's making your money worth less. You're getting screwed. If you're a stable person, you should actually be cheering for higher interest rates, because it makes your money worth more, and you're getting the exact opposite.
If you're a stable person, raise your hand, because there seem to be less and less of you. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
America respects our first responders and veterans, the brave whose business is taking action when calamity strikes. It's dangerous work, often surrounded by sirens, shouting, even gunfire, so hearing loss is probable. First responders can turn to Relay Indiana. If you have trouble hearing on the telephone, visit RelayIndiana.com for voice recognition technology phones that allow the hearing impaired to have normal phone conversations. And there's loaned equipment for those who qualify. Get clarity back on the phone. Visit RelayIndiana.com.
Casey, question.
Yeah, what's that?
Have you ever wanted to go to the Lucas Estates?
Yeah, I'd like to look around.
Let's face it, they're not letting people like us in the Lucas Estates.
That's true.
Except now, what an incredible opportunity. Not only would you get to go to Lucas Estates, but you could have a free, I'm sure, fabulous breakfast in the process. This is a once a year opportunity. It's called the Hope Starts Here Breakfast, and it is Life Church, our friends at Life Church, partnering with Project Rescue, also our friends, to stamp out human sex trafficking. And they would love for you to be a part of the event. The breakfast is totally free, and you get a chance to tour and see the Lucas Estates. Now, you got to register for the event, but this could be your one chance. And we all love free breakfast. And it helps a great cause, which is Project Rescue, to do your part to help stamp out human sex trafficking across the globe. To get all the information and register, log on. Head onto the web, lifechurchin.com.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with Mark Dietel. Perhaps you're worried you need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Luke and Emma in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Dietel. We began building our new dream home, and we needed to sell our old place at a great price to pay for it. The Mark Dietel team made it easy with multiple offers in the first weekend and closed in 25 days at the price we wanted. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, Dietel.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
This is a fascinating story, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
A guy from Indianapolis, whose name is Mark Zuckerberg,
Yes.
is suing Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he's an attorney here, and clearly they share a name. He claims that Meta has repeatedly disabled his Facebook accounts, both personal and business, at least 5 times over the past 8 years.
So this guy, like I said, his name is Mark Steven Zuckerberg. The real Mark Zuckerberg, the famous Mark Zuckerberg is Mark Elliott Zuckerberg. And by the way, there's a whole bunch. You can look this up. This is a fascinating story. WTHR here locally's covered it. Many others have too. National media's covered this. And so the issue this guy has is that Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it, keeps shutting down his pages because they accuse him of impersonating a celebrity.
Not using his authentic name as well. And he said that he's provided his driver's license, credit card information, facial images, and yet they still keep doing it. And here's the problem is the Indiana Mark Zuckerberg has been paying into the advertising program on Facebook and Meta to promote his law office.
Yeah.
So he's paying them ad money, and yet they still keep shutting him down.
Well, and so this hits on a broader thing, which is how entwined we are now with social media, or at least, some people. Look, there are people who just use social media to post pictures of their kids or whatever, and that's fine. But there are a big portion of the economy now is people existing on social media, running these sorts of advertisements, like his business plan. It used to be you'd find this guy in the Yellow Pages, right? Do they even do a Yellow Pages anywhere? Is that even a thing?
I knew a guy who worked for the Yellow Pages. He actually worked for phone books. I don't know. Do they still get delivered?
I don't know. That's what I asked you. I don't know. I don't know if I can't remember the last time that got delivered, but there used to be this guy would exist through a direct mailer to people or in the phone book, and that was a lot of people's business plan, right? I need an attorney. I need a bankruptcy attorney. I need a whatever. You'd look it up and you'd find names and you'd start calling people and whatever. But now, because, everybody's on social media and the social media advertising has reached a point where it's so targeted, you can hit the people really that you're really trying to hit. This guy is behind the 8 ball compared to his competition now because he can't keep a page up.
Well, it's not only businesses that advertise on Facebook or Meta. It's some businesses are completely run on social media. By the way, the answer to your question about the phone book, do phone books still get delivered in 2025? Yes, but rarely. But did you know you can opt out of delivery? It's called the National Yellow Pages Consumer Choice and Opt-Out site.
It's called what?
The National Yellow Pages Consumer Choice and Opt-Out site. So you can go online and click no thank you to having the phone book delivered to your front porch.
It's like the little Super Simple song that Livy does. Please no thank you. Please no thank you. That's pretty wild. I wonder how that even stays in business anymore. I mean, because obviously it was centered around advertising. And who would, what, I would love to know what percentage of the population does not have the ability to look something up on the internet now at their fingertips. Like, I'm not, anything you need, like when my fridge went down, okay, refrigerator repair, Indianapolis, boom, here's, 7 or 8 people you can call. Who doesn't do that anymore?
Well, I would like to invite Indiana's Mark Zuckerberg. You could advertise here on WIBC.
We do get a lot of people, although we have fine financial stewards, so I don't know how many people are needing a bankruptcy attorney. Isn't that what he is? Is he a bankruptcy attorney? Is that right?
I don't know what kind of attorney he is.
But anyway, that is wild how the economy has changed to the point where this guy is being, he's a bankruptcy attorney. That this guy's life is being disrupted because he can't get on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's being reported as an active investigation. Have you ever been confused with somebody else? Like, I'll give you an example. Jim, my husband, at one point, somebody was under credit collections.
Oh.
Different middle name.
Oh, yeah.
Different middle name, initial, everything. But yet they kept calling us and sending letters to him.
Right.
We're like, this isn't us.
Yeah, and no matter
you
how
got
many,
the wrong guy.
No matter how many times you tell them, oh, do you want to hear a wacky story about things not making sense?
Sure.
So, did I tell this about the fridge? I did tell this about the fridge not being deliverable.
Oh, it came though. We never got an update.
No. When I went to the Costco and they wouldn't deliver the fridge.
Right, and they said they were going to look into it.
Yeah, no, the fridge is in. It's fine.
Okay.
I helped the guys put it in.
It was delivered. No problem.
No, I went to another place. But like, isn't it so weird how you'll get in a vortex where, like you're saying with this or that chair is so loud. Why is it so loud?
We need some WD-40.
Anyway, I'm very easy to work with, except I just got a couple little quirks, right?
So easy.
I let Casey pick whatever she wants to talk about, but I like if my things are not where they're supposed to be, or I'm very, very susceptible to hearing noises. I'm this way in my house too.
Yeah.
Like I'm very
noisy. You must be a delight to sleep next to at night.
Like, it is weird how you'll get in a vortex of clearly something doesn't make sense or isn't right. Like, see your thing, these things keep getting sent, you keep calling them, and it would be pretty easy for somebody to go, I'm Jim Bobby, and he's Jim Aaron or whatever. Oh, yes, we see that.
Right.
Thank you. Sorry to bother you. Click, click, click. Get you out of the system.
No, but when it comes to the credit collections, that's the number they had. So they're going to continue to call that number.
Or like the guy at the Costco was like, I've been on the phone with them. They have no logical explanation why we can't in Avon deliver a fridge to Brownsburg. Well, can they just put it will be delivered? Yeah, they're going to look into doing that. And then they never did, and there's no logical explanation. Like, if there's a reason, okay, but of course there is none because probably a clerical error, and it's just crazy how you can get one of those vortexes and you can't get out of it.
I saw this article that says why so many employees are crying at work. You ever cry at work? No, you cry on your way to work.
Are we going to take a break? Let's take a break and discuss that when we come back.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A trooper in recovery. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. An Indiana State trooper is now recovering at home after being struck by a suspected drunk driver on I-65 in Indianapolis late last night. Trooper Haley Howard was in her vehicle and assisting another trooper as there was a car that had broken down on the side of the road. The driver who crashed into her is now in jail. 2 women are receiving treatment after being shot by a man they got into an altercation with downtown. IMPD is investigating. Also, 2 firefighters are injured while working on a house fire on the north side of Indianapolis overnight. Some places in southern Indiana might get some rain tonight, but then after that, things change.
We need to recognize that we're going to be going to a much drier pattern here through much of the month.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says most of the state has been abnormally dry lately because of the lack of rain. The Fever take on the Chicago Sky at home, and tonight is also week 3 of Indiana high school football. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried you need costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Luke and Emma in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Dietl. We began building our new dream home, and we needed to sell our old place at a great price to pay for it. The Mark Dietl team made it easy with multiple offers in the first weekend and closed in 25 days at the price we wanted. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
We play fair in Indiana, but Washington insiders want to cheat. They want taxpayers to spend millions to redraw legislative maps approved just 4 years ago. That's not democracy. It's a power grab, and they're hoping you won't notice. Thankfully, some of our leaders are saying no to D.C. politics. Tell politicians Hoosiers don't cheat. Protect our votes and get back to focusing on our real problems. Join the team at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Kirby Heating. We have over 40 years of experience to help during your time of need. Call or go to kirbyheating.com.
Kirby Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
What are you doing on that computer?
I'm closing out some of the windows.
Like, how many do you have open? Like 43?
No. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Why do you have 10 windows open? What do you need 10 windows open for?
Well, clearly I just closed a bunch out. So.
Yeah, and that thing stopped sounding like it was about to explode. Every time you do that...
It's not me, it's the computer.
I understand, but if you know we have a crappy-ass computer that you're using and you can't... Look, I'm not saying it's fair to you. I'm just saying, if you have more than 3 tabs open, that thing sounds like a nuclear bomb that's about to go off.
Don't complain to me. Complain to engineering.
I'm complaining to you because you know the circumstances, and you have it all on paper anyway.
No, I don't. Remember,
well, you don't have it today.
The
That's a
printer
good point.
didn't work.
That's right. Yes, Casey came in screaming about her printer not working this morning. And I was like, what do you need, 9 red M&Ms too? Like, okay, share, give it a rest, right?
Yes, my contract.
Anyway, that's just very loud. But it seems to have stopped since you closed 10 tabs.
I think it's Daily Mail. Daily Mail always is the craziest website.
It's still going.
Is it?
I don't know if people can hear that on the air. Like, that is so
No, but
loud.
you know what you can hear? Just be quiet for a second. Okay, listen to this.
Yeah, that buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me turning my microphone off.
Yeah, that's. But I don't know if people can hear that either. Anyway.
We can hear it.
All right. So what about people crying at work? What's going on?
I thought you were going to tell me
Well,
about
I was going to, but I think the crying at work is more interesting. I want to get to that first. And I'm so distracted.
I'm about to cry.
That computer is so loud.
I'm about to cry at work.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 segments to go, lady, and then you don't have to hear from me for another 2 days.
Nearly half of people who work in person or hybrid workers have cried at work.
What? What's the stat?
50% of people
like legitimately cried at work
have cried at work, and if you go strictly to a remote worker, the number jumps to 70%.
Well, yeah, of course you've cried in your house if you're a remote worker.
They say that crying stems from stress, personal issues, or passion for work. You're so worked up, you want to do such a good job that you cry.
I used to be worked up about this place, and then I recognized, hey, it's just whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
That's true.
I mean, I think you find as you get older.
You got to let it go?
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I had this conversation the other night, and we were talking about a couple of different things. And I said, look, part of, she's entering, like, not to say she wasn't an adult previously, but like the adult phase of life in which I've always said the window for a dude is like 27 to 31 if you're a single guy like Kevin is, right?
Yeah.
Because you have all this disposable income, you should have some level of disposable income. You're smart enough to you've been through the ringer a little bit. You've seen kind of how good society works. You've seen how successful people work. You kind of can see through people that are just going to be an absolute waste of your time. Like you have all those things going for you, yet you're young enough to participate in the fun side of society. But somebody told me this. They said when I was turning 26, they said 26 was the year that it all came together for them. When this person was talking to me about life. And looking back on it, that's right. I think 26 is like a movement year because you sort of phase out of the idealism of your adolescence, and then you start to see the world for what it is, and you see through the posers and just all of that, right? And so it's interesting when you sort of look at your job, like if you can take that ability to process things and look at your job, you do sort of start to realize there's only certain things in your job that are within your control, that you have some direct influence over, and then the rest of it, you just kind of have to smile and say, okay.
Yeah, gotta let it go. Like, for example, if you have a computer that's not cooperating,
very loud,
it's not in your control, you just gotta let it go. Some of the common triggers.
Wait. If you're contributing to that by having 10 tabs open, that is within your control.
Some of the common triggers for crying at work include heavy workloads, conflict with coworkers, personal problems, sudden changes, and poor communication.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think we've talked about this with this job before. I was the fill-in guy, the permanent fill-in guy for about 3 years here. Almost 4 years, and I was the producer. And the whole time you're sitting there, you're like, if I just work a little harder, if I just do this a little better, like I can make a show work on my own, but I got to show these guys
that you can do it,
that I can do it. And the way I'll show them is I'll do every show over the course of the day if you need me. I'll fill in on every show, and it wasn't happening. To the point, we've talked about this before. I was ready to take another job and call it a day here. And you know when I got the show? When somebody else left.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
when the opening happened.
Rob's here. Mock likes working with Rob. He's funny. Put him in. And we made it work, right? But the point is, all of that stuff was beyond my control from the standpoint of there just weren't any shows to give. And you keep trying to jam a square peg into a round hole, and that's a super stressful thing, right? Like, why am I not getting this? I know I can do this. I know I can make this work. We clearly have, right? But that now, at my age now, and going through all this stuff, you process that. Like, in your work environment, there are things that are within your control. For us, it's the show we do every single day. Do we produce quality content every single day? Everything else It's somebody else's choice. It's somebody else's call.
It's out of your control.
Absolutely.
Some of the risks for crying at work can impact your career progression. Like, for example, when you weren't getting the gig that you wanted, did you cry?
No, I didn't cry.
You just left frustrated.
Well,
right?
you know me, Casey. I just compartmentalize things and just rot on the inside. I don't ever show it on the outside.
Crying at work can also lead to awkwardness, misunderstanding, and biased judgments. They say if you do feel yourself getting upset, you just need to shift your focus, take a break, reframe it, or get support if that's what you really need.
Well, you've got to decide whether you're content with whatever you've got. And I think in our sort of instant gratification culture that we live in now, of which social media is a major part of that, I think that it's harder for people to slog through things than it used to be. It's also harder for people to process a game plan of how do I make this better. And that's really what you've got to do. You've got to decide whatever environment you're in, am I willing to accept or tolerate, or whatever word you want, where this is at for the foreseeable future. If the answer is no, then you need to start looking somewhere else.
You need to make a change. Speaking of work, Forbes has released their 2025 list of America's best in-state employers. Indiana's #1 spot belongs to...
Wait, what's the question?
The best employer in the state of Indiana.
Like with a company?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they'll probably give it to someone like Lilly.
University of Notre Dame.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they did this survey, and they surveyed more than 160,000 U.S. employees. To qualify, the companies had to have at least 500 workers. And they asked them questions, company-related questions like workplace culture, pay, career growth, how the employers handle different issues. And University of Notre Dame came out on top, followed by Hilton, Worldwide Holdings, Community Health Network, J.P. Morgan, Caterpillar, Rolls-Royce. Eli Lilly was then also on the list.
Okay, so
was Cummins.
You've worked a lot of places.
I worked at some different media outlets over the years.
Over time, have you found, like at 40, would you have judged whether someplace is a quality place to work differently than you would have at 30? Like, did you have different standards by which you judged whether somewhere was a quality place to work?
Sure, absolutely. Because your life path is different over time. When you're, for example, at one point in my career, it was much more about time and balancing that so that I could also be a good mom, and my daughter wasn't in daycare all day.
Right.
And then when she was in school, my focus was how much you paying me.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. And see, I struggled with this because I never worked for anybody for a long period of time. And then my first real experience of working with people was the government, which was horrible because I was in constant conflict.
They're not on the list.
Yeah, I was just in constant conflict with the people above me because they were screwing the taxpayers, and I was outraged. And so it made the whole work environment just a horribly hard thing to participate in. And I don't really I know I work for someone here, but I don't really feel like we work for someone. I think that's why I do so well here, because they just leave us alone.
Yeah, they do. And that's part of it.
When I worked at the golf course, one of the reasons I took that job is I knew they would show me how to do the job, and then they would leave me alone. Go do the job. Like, they knew this guy's competent. He can bartend. He can run the cash register. It's not a rocket science thing. I would have a hard time
being micromanaged.
Well, being in an environment where I'm managed of any sort.
Well, that's the mark of a good leader. Hire good people and let them do their job. Other companies on the list: Ivy Tech Community College. You also have Salesforce. Center Grove Community School Corporation made the list.
But I think what I would consider micromanaging is probably normal behavior in most office environments.
Corporate America?
I mean, I don't know because I've never been there. But like, we literally, when I say they leave us alone, I mean, I go see our immediate boss, Matt Hiblin, at the end of every show. Hey, man, anything we need to talk about? Okay, see ya. We have a scheduled meeting once a week with our main boss, David Wood. That usually lasts 15 or 20 minutes. We go over everything. And then they'll send us emails every so often with suggestions on things. But they're just like, hey, these guys do really well. Let's just leave them alone.
Well, that's the thing. If you're performing, yes, hire good people, let them do their job. If you're not performing up to the standards, the expectations that they want, you'd probably be having a lot more meetings.
Like, I could not work in an environment where you had to, on a daily basis,
Have a morning stand-up.
Yeah, like just a what?
A morning stand-up.
What's
Let's
that?
check in. That's what a lot of companies do.
Oh, like everybody stands up and says what they're doing?
That's what it's called, yeah.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Do you see what happens out there in the real world, Rob Kendall?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure I could function in the real world. Like, I don't, like, if I always say, like, what would you do here? I would probably go back to the golf course.
What is it you say you do?
I would probably bartend. I thought being an Uber driver might be fun.
Mhm.
But I would be very hard
You would get passengers who would be like, no conversation.
Shut up!
I'm just trying to get to the airport.
I don't think my car is even eligible for Uber.
I don't think it is.
Isn't there
either.
a standard for an Uber car? Like, it has to be a certain...
There should be.
I mean,
You have to have
Kevin,
electric windows.
You probably have taken a lot of Ubers. You strike me as a sort of international traveler that is familiar with the Uber Lyft world. Is there a standard for the cars?
Yeah, I think you have to have. It can't be too old. Like, you have to have it made after a certain year.
I'm serious. I don't think my car would be eligible for the
You
Uber.
have to have an engine and a transmission.
Can we talk up next? Look, I hate to do this because it's our last segment together of the week.
Yeah.
But you've been a real prima donna today. Can we talk about that when we come back?
Not. You are so full of it, and we'll point that out coming up from 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, payrolls only up by 22,000 and mortgage rates are down. I have no idea what's going on. Do you? Let's discuss after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
All right, let's see here. Derringer, a couple old Colts. What's this, a Glock? What's that, Harvey? You can't read the clock? Well, you dumb bunny. I said Glock, not clock. Folks, I'm going through my old shooting irons here, looking to see what I might be able to sell down at the Indy 1500's Big Gun and Knife Show down at the State Fairgrounds this weekend. Let's see now, where was I? Oh, yeah, Ruger, another Glock. What do you mean, what's a Glock? Now, Harvey, you know what do you mean all guns look the same? Harvey, come here. Now pick up that shotgun there. All right, now pick up the Glock there. Now see, now can't you tell the difference? Now, Harvey, be careful. That gun is... Excuse me, folks. I think I need to take old Harvey to the eye doctor. Looks like he's come down with a case of glaucoma.
Celebrity voice and imaginary character impersonated. The Indy 1500 Gun, Knife, and Outdoor Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the State Fairgrounds.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
We play fair in Indiana, but Washington insiders want to cheat. They want taxpayers to spend millions to redraw legislative maps approved just 4 years ago. That's not democracy. It's a power grab, and they're hoping you won't notice. Thankfully, some of our leaders are saying no to D.C. politics. Tell politicians Hoosiers don't cheat. Protect our votes and get back to focusing on our real problems. Join the team at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Want in on special WIBC contests?
That is correct.
Join the text club. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393. Exclusive giveaways are just a text away.
Some stuck out as I go. I'm just traveling up the road.
You know, you were a real prima donna today.
I was not.
You were too.
I did not. My printer doesn't work. Nothing will print. Oh, we're going to go out on a Friday having a fight. Come on, Kendall. Bring it on. I did not sound like that.
So,
I just said I couldn't get the printer to work today.
This fascinates me that in your mind it's still 1988 and you print the template every day.
I do, because I like to take notes as you're ranting.
Oh, I got you.
I'll write down a word here and there that reminds me of something that I want to contribute. And I also X things off as we go to kind of keep track of what we have and haven't talked about.
I wonder how the printer industry is doing.
Probably not so great as everything moves to digital. You know, I was recently asked that, like, how do I keep myself organized? Is it all digital or do I use paper? And it's kind of like a combination of the two right now.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people, like, I would keep Dunder Mifflin in business, you know?
Have you seen the new Office? Have you watched it yet? It came out yesterday.
I haven't. Have you?
The paper? No, I saw a trailer and it looked horrendous.
Isn't that where they move the office to another location, or it's a branch?
I don't know.
Something?
I saw a trailer and it looked horrible. I'm like, if you can't even make the trailer look funny, just leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone.
If you're not going to do, and even if you brought the original,
can't improve on it. It's already good.
Even if you brought the original people back, that was like 12 years ago. That show went off the air,
right? So if anybody who hasn't seen it, to get the original idea, they'd have to go back and watch that.
Sure, right? But it's like these people are all older now, to blah, blah, blah. But I wonder if, in light of how the struggles the post office is having, well documented, if the printer industry is like basically the same thing. And I also wonder, in the budget-cutting world in which we live, at some point if they're just going to be like, no more printers.
No more printers. Well, they've moved all the paper up to the 5th floor. There's a huge note above the printer that's like, paper, 5th floor by reception. Is there reception up there?
Oh, I don't
think there's a receptionist.
No, there's no receptionist, but there is a reception area. Yes, the area where no one will greet you, where there is an area to greet you.
You used to walk up there and say, hi, how are you? How can I help you?
Isn't that fascinating, too? And I'm sure this is true in many industries. So for those of you who don't know, we're at 40 Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis, and our building is a 7-story building. But basically every floor, other than the first and the top floors, largely mirror each other. That's not exactly right, but at least the
footprint,
4, 5, and 6, I guess you would say, mirror each other. And there was a time where there were things of a bygone era where you're right. This building, I believe, was built in the late 90s. There is an area where someone who would have been the receptionist, when you got off on that floor, whether you were here to go to WIBC or the other properties, at one point, Mr. Smolian owned Indianapolis Monthly. I don't know if he still does. But no, I think they're out of here. I think they must have sold that. I don't know. Anyway, point is, all of these floors have reception areas for someone to greet you. And now, like on our floor, it's just a bunch of stuff, and the engineer guys use it to tinker with technology.
It's a storage area.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they leave old equipment there that's never used.
So you do wonder, like, what other jobs, say 10 years from now, a new generation of workers will
be
say,
non-existent.
Yeah, then people will go, "What was that for? What sort of? Why did that thing exist.
It just disappeared. Well, there are still a few professions that I think will always be around, like doctors and nurses and teachers.
Speaking of doctors, somebody told me this, and they're in the medical profession, so I have no reason to doubt them. Like, they are a medical professional. They said AI is getting to the point where the next step for AI with medicine is that AI will transcribe the conversation you have with the doctor.
And diagnose you?
No.
Okay.
They will edit out all the non-medical chatter. So, when you see the doctor, they upload information.
To your portal,
had
sure.
a broken toe, prescribed whatever,
right?
And they'll just put all the information. It's a very high level thing of what was discussed and what the treatment plan is, and blah blah blah. But they're saying the new thing with AI is they'll be able to record the conversation, and then AI on its own will be able to cut out all the non-medical banter back and forth with you and the doctor, and then upload that, and that will be the way medical information gets transcribed going forward.
Why would you need the non-medical words when you're at the doctor? Aren't those the important words? So what? It's going to be transcribed to the, a,
No, I'm
two
saying
times
it will
a day?
edit out all the non-medical information. So all of that stuff, the weather, the conversation about the weather, your life.
Oh, so it will only contain...
That's right. Yes.
Oh,
The
gotcha.
only thing it will upload is whatever's related to the medical part of the conversation.
Yeah.
That seems very creepy to me. Now, this person is a very libertarian type doctor. They didn't seem overly creeped out about it, but to me, that's very concerning.
Well, I know that a lot of people are turning to AI to figure out what is wrong with them. I wish that I was at the doctor's office yesterday.
How'd it go?
You want to know what I did?
1 foot. Are you 1 foot in a grave, another foot on a banana peel, or are you going to be around for a while?
I hope so. I mean, I'll have to check my portal and see what the test results
you're
indicate.
getting tested.
Well, you know what? I'm a woman, and I'm of that age where I have to go and get the boob smash once a year.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go? But you think it went fine?
I hope so.
Well.
I mean, all indications say I'm okay.
Very good. Well,
Yeah.
that's very exciting.
Aren't you glad you know that?
I'm glad your smashing
it's like a
went well.
pancake. They just lower that thing down on there, and it's like 10 seconds of deep breathing. Just get through it.
Somebody, that's their career, though.
I know.
They smashed the breastular area.
She was very nice, by the way. This just got to be so awkward for them as well.
Yeah.
Because they have to lift that up there. And anyway, on a Friday, I'm going to leave you thinking about that.
Thanks a lot. You have a blessed weekend.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Kevin. And thank you for listening. Have a great weekend. It's been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Summer is here, and that means it's time for new flooring in your home. Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as 2 weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 North Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means getting more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Go to brothers-floorcovering.com. That's brothers-floorcovering.com.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at GotYour6.org. Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at GotYour6.org. Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at GotYour6.org. Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at GotYour6.org.
On the